Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back, once again, to Wheel Takes, a podcast about the Wheel of Time, a series of fantasy novels written by Robert Jordan and then finished by Brandon Sanderson. My name is Gus. I've read all of them.
And I'm Allie, and I have read up to the prologue of Book 11.
This podcast only contains spoilers for what Allie's already read. And again, today, that's everything up to and including the end of the prologue of Knife of Dreams. Allie, how's it going?
It's going well. I'm very sleepy.
Me too. Guess what?
What?
We have some people to thank.
We do?
We do. We've got a couple of new and some upgraded patrons. So thanks for y'all for being who you are. You're nice. And it's very kind of you. Allie, first things first, thanks for the pint, Robert B.
Robert B, just like a amenable, right? That's good.
That's a good word, yeah.
I don't think I've used that one. Amenable jetpack.
Ooh.
You rise to every challenge that is put in your way. Reaching new heights and soaring towards your goals. You always have our backs. There's no one better on this earth than a true friend, and that is you, Robert B. And you're also...
Even though we've never met you, you seem like that kind of fella.
I have a feeling. And you know what? I've never been wrong. And you're also fiery. You've got a good spirit about you, a zest for life. And for that, we thank you. And thank you for this community.
Thank you
for being a part of this community. But also thank you for this community.
Thanks for the high five, Anthea.
Anthea. That's a pretty name. Just like...
Oh, Anthea, who I believe emailed me to let me know that one of our episodes from, Lord of Chaos had been cut off halfway through. So thanks to you.
Thank you for that.
That episode is no longer half complete.
How weird. Was that just like a transfer issue?
Some glitch, yeah.
Oh. Thank you, Anthea, for that. And also, just like a happy... Have I done happy? I don't think so.
Maybe.
Well, it's been a minute, so we're going to go with happy. Happy coat. You're warm. You're a warm person. We meet you and we just go, what a delight. What an incredible human being. You're also shelter when we need it most. You are someone we can go to with our problems, and someone who will hold space for us when we're not at our best. And you are also down for anything. Get it? Because down coats.
Yeah.
You're down for anything. You are ready for action. You are a person that says yes to living. And for that, we thank you. And thank you for being a part of this community.
Thanks for jumping up to bubbly, Kevin K.
Kevin K, you are so sweet.
Wow.
Just like a sweet Venus flytrap. Why not? You are a thirst trap. You are just a good looking person. You know, inside and out, you look good. You're also firmly rooted. You're well attached to your roots. You know who you are and you know your boundaries. And that is a fabulous thing to have about you, especially in the world we're living in today. And you're also adaptable. While you are firmly rooted, you are willing to change when you're presented with new and interesting information, and you are better for it. And for that, we thank you, and thank you for being a part of this community.
And last, but certainly not least, thanks for jumping up to a pint, Rogan G.
Rogan G, just like a robust lily pad.
Good.
You float through life. You know, we're always waiting for that moment where you'll stumble or make a mistake, but you make it look really effortless, even though we know that sometimes those effortless looking lives can be really effortful, right? You're a hard worker, but you make it look easy. And that just is a testament as someone who performs, right? The more natural and the more put together it looks, and the more easy peasy it looks, the harder that person worked. And that's you. You are a hard worker, but you make it look easy. Teach me your ways. You make us green with envy, but in a way where it's like, oh, we'd hate them, but they're just so nice. You know, they're just such a pleasant, lovely human being that we can't be too mad at them for being so wonderful because they're just wonderful. And you're also someone who seeks connection, right? Lily pads have that like thing that goes down to like the
root.
Yeah, the little root thing. You seek connection. You want to, seek deeper, more meaningful relationships for yourself, and really learn about a person. And for that, we thank you, and thank you for being a part of this community.
So thanks as always to all of our patrons. You're all very kind.
We love you.
And the podcast is still free, but you're all great. And thanks to everybody who's not a patron for listening. And thanks to you specifically, because thanks to you, I get to / have to do the outro in the Seeker voice.
Oh, that's right. We did say that.
You are welcome / I am sorry. And as a reminder to any and all people who are bubbly level, you do get a second shout out or me reading something in a voice that I have done before.
It's true.
Subject to approval. So, just if you've pledged a bubbly and you haven't taken us up on that,
yeah,
you can. And you don't have to, but you can.
And this goes toward us coming to JordanCon. It goes to us going to WatCon. It goes to us getting new equipment and keeping the podcast going. So thank you for making it so that we can keep this going because we're having a really good time.
It's good fun. Allie,
yes.
Here's the thing. Mm-hmm. I'm dumber than dirt.
You are?
I am, because I skipped something very important last week.
You are not dumber than dirt. That's not true.
Okay,
what did you skip?
Dumber than mud.
You're not dumber than mud. You're not dumb at all.
So we didn't talk about the epigraph.
Oh.
We always have done. We spend 30 to 60 minutes discussing whether or not epigraph is the right word.
Sure.
And then we talk about the epigraph.
Well, is epigraph the right word?
Yeah, we always settle on the fact that yes, probably it is.
Okay. So I think that's where that conversation will go.
So, I closed the book again and Gaul started staring me down. All right,
it is a little unsettling.
This one in particular, I love everything about it except Gaul and Perrin. Gaul is just scaring me.
Well, Gaul looks like somebody's bruiser.
He does.
You know what I mean?
Which is not inaccurate.
Well,
he kind of is, right? He's kind of like in this section of the prologue. He basically conks Galina.
I guess to me, I consider like when I think of the Aiel, they're like lankier.
Sure, I get.
Do you know
that.
what I mean? They're like lean because they're runners. They run
NBA.
Everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
they're stretched out. They're
someone
tall.
who used to be a runner before my ankles and knees and back decided to revolt. It's a lean sport.
Yeah.
Like it's all cardio. So I feel like the people who are the best at it tend to be these lankier people with like limbs for days. You know what I mean?
Sure, I get that.
Because they're a lot less wind resistant. And obviously.
What the fuck was? I did not mean to play that. Sorry.
I forgot that button exists.
Yes, because we're usually, yeah.
They're stretchy. They're more like a Mike TV kind of person.
Yeah, sure.
Usually are the people who tend to like run super fast. Obviously there is so much nuance to be had there, right? But that just tends to be the typical runner that I think of.
If you watch the Olympics, the distance runners are generally a little more stringy, whereas the sprinters are a little bit more, bulky because they need, what is it? Short muscle fiber and long muscle fiber, I think. Short muscle fiber is good for sprints and long muscle fiber is good for endurance or something like that.
Yeah. And so I guess that's why I think of runners as stringy, is the distance runners tend to be pretty stringy. And so, and that's not a negative. It's that's just their body type. Yeah. That tends to be what they do best. So I'm always like thinking of the Aiel in those terms because they seem to run a lot and for long distances. So to me, anyway, so he looks more like, he'd be standing behind the Godfather on the day of his daughter's wedding.
Yeah. What's funny is I was on Twitter and people were discussing casting of a certain show, and particularly a character played by an actress named Ayula Smart in a certain show, and somebody was like, "Why is she so short?" And somebody who worked on the show, whose name is Sarah Nakamura, responded with a picture from Ayula Smart's resume and from this character's wiki page and said, actually, she's taller than she is in the book. So
Yeah, she's
Cheers.
what, like 6 feet tall?
Iola? No, I think she's 5'10".
Okay, she's 5'10".
And this character
That's
in the
not
books
short.
is like 5'8".
Yeah, because I was like 5'10" for a woman is not short. I'm 5'6" and I'm firmly average. Well, I'm a little above average. I think 5'5" is the average for women, or 5'4". So, like, people tell me I'm tall.
Yeah.
So she's very tall. Yeah. I have a friend who's 5'10", very tall. And then I think the other two are like 6 feet tall, which is why she looks shorter.
Yeah. Anyway, what show? I don't know. I've never heard of a Smell-O-Vision. So here's the thing. Before I forget, we do actually have to talk about this this epigraph, because it's a titular epigraph.
Can I see it?
It goes,
Oh,
the sweetness of victory and the bitterness of defeat are alike a knife of dreams. From Fog and Steel by Medoc Commodrin.
So it's saying...
So if you were hoping that the Knife of Dreams was a physical thing that had to do with Talyr and Riyadh, this suggests that you would be mistaken.
Sure.
Because I will tell you that is what I was hoping, and whether I got that or not remains to be seen.
I think sweetness of victory and bitterness of defeat are like a knife of dreams. So is he saying essentially that, like, they're kind of a double-sided sword?
It doesn't matter how you feel about it, I think, is part of it. And also, like...
Oh, is it one of those where it's like, I mean, that's kind of in the eye of the beholder?
I think so. I think part of it is also... a knife of dreams is a knife that does not truly cut, right? So a single victory or a single defeat can be meaningless. And how one reacts to it, how one feels about it is meaningless.
Okay, that's kind of true.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this a lot because my therapist and I have been talking about divorcing your ego from the result of something.
Sure.
Right? And that the pursuit is the thing that matters, not what comes of it.
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, if you're not enjoying the journey, right? If you're not being present, you're just thinking about what the outcome is going to be, you're inevitably going to be probably disappointed because you'll have built up this ego surrounding like how people are going to react and like what, just divorcing your ego from the result and just enjoying the process of creation and the process of like living your life. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. But also that these like things don't matter in the grand scheme of things. Like we're all very small, but also it's a nothing matters, but everything matters kind of thing, right?
Maybe.
Or am I
think this is
afield?
much more about short-term effect, I guess.
Oh, sure.
Right? It hurts until you wake up. It feels good until you wake up.
Well, the Aiel are very into the life is a dream that we wake up from, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. I just wonder like how much Robert Jordan looked into.
Oh, sorry, I was wrong. The book character is 5'9", and the actress is 5'10". Anyway.
Well, I was just interested in
doesn't really matter. just a fun factoid.
Yeah. I just wonder because some of the things that Robert Jordan I think is exploring in this feel very in line with a lot of spiritual practice today.
Oh yeah, certainly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So I just wonder how much he, looked into that kind of stuff.
Well, I think he was a very mindful person, Yeah. He was a very thoughtful guy. But, I just want to make sure we talked about the epigraph.
Well, I just think that's fascinating. I just think it's fascinating the themes that he was exploring in some of this, intentionally or no, just because I think it breaks stereotype in a lovely way a lot of the time of what you might picture. You may not picture a white man from the South being that.
Well, we're leaning into stereotype, sure.
Well, I'm saying, I think it's nice to see something that I think breaks a stereotype.
Well, this is something that I think that we've brought up a lot when we discuss, and the broader discussions about Robert Jordan's overall intent and execution and and something that I think we have often circled around was he was ahead of a lot of his cohort and demographic on a lot of things, right? If he was not necessarily on the bleeding cutting edge of feminism or the bleeding cutting edge of gender discourse, he was certainly better off than a lot of probably his demographic
people
peers.
in a similar demographic. Yeah. I mean,
better off. Let me clarify. Better off farther down along the road of discussion and conversation and pondering.
Yeah, which is why I think it's unfortunate that he's not able to write today.
I know, man.
I feel like
I would love to see what he was up to.
Yeah, just because I feel like, and I can already hear the people beating the drums of like women were doing it, and I'm like, I know.
Absolutely. That's why we specified.
That's why we
his
specified
demographic.
Yeah.
Where Allie is currently reading Ruins of Ombre, written in the same time period by Melanie Ron. So, yeah, absolutely true.
I just think he seemed like a thoughtful guy, and I think it's a shame that he's not able to write today because I think because he's such a thoughtful guy that there would have been an evolution to some of the choices that he made in his earlier work.
Yeah. Shall we press on?
I would love to.
So, Allie, before we press on, where did we leave off?
Oh God. Galad killed Eamon Valda.
Yeah.
Oh, Alviarin and the fact that she thinks she's marked.
Haven't talked about that yet.
Oh, whoops. Well, we will.
We will today. Yeah.
Okay, then before that, not Galina.
Nope.
Pavara.
Not yet. That's the next thing.
There's something in between those things. The White Tower of it all and
it
Galad.
Goes Pavara. Yeah, there is something between it. There's actually two somethings between it. Here, let me break this down for you. The prologue can essentially be broken down into the Shanchan and White Cloaks arc and the White Tower arc. Okay. And we've done the Shanchan White Cloaks arc. We've done what's out west.
White Cloaks arc.
So if we're leaning now into considering I mentioned Shanchan and White Cloaks, and you talked about
we left off with Leandrin and Surath.
Surath, that's right, and now we're going to pick it up with Pavara. Do you have notes for the Pavara section?
I believe so. I'm freaking out that this tea is poisoned.
Did we talk about this? No, we didn't. Okay, because I'm having weird
tea.
Deja vu that we talked about that. But you read that note.
Yeah, I
did read that note.
Accidentally
okay, yeah.
Read that note.
The dog is going to pant for a minute, and he's all the way over there, so I can't put the mic in his face.
But I'm freaking out that the tea that they're drinking is poisoned.
It's not.
I know, but I feel like we should be on the lookout.
We should always be on the lookout for poisoned tea.
Yeah.
Right? Poisoned tea seems like a cornerstone.
It's taken out a few people at this point, I think, right? Like Adelius, at least one.
Yeah, at least the one.
I feel like someone else got poisoned too.
Well, there's Forkroot. Forkroot comes up a lot usually in tea.
We've had that happen at least twice. But Adelius, and there was one more. Okay, I'm annoyed with this. I'm scared in the tower and want warders for protection stuff. I get it, right? Okay, before anybody goes, Allie, it's okay to be afraid if you're a woman. Yeah, I know. And sometimes it is comforting to have other people around who you can trust implicitly. I get that. I get that is the sentiment theoretically. But I'm like, the pattern that we've seen is that like Gandalf never goes, man, I'm so happy to have Aragorn with me. I'm so nervous and I want Aragorn with me for extra protection as the most powerful channeler ever. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I know. People often say, well, it's because they can't use it as a weapon, but if they're under danger,
they can. And I get that they could do a sneak attack, right? And that would theoretically be bad.
Yeah.
But
I get it. I mean, I totally hear where you're coming from. I think it's a conversation that we've touched on, which we can continue to.
No, I'm like, I get it. In light of recent events, I might have already started putting together brackets for next year's Grinwald Cup.
Rodell's going to be in it for sure.
Rodell is in it.
Pavara probably.
Pavara's in it. Yeah, there's a lot of new people in it. I also think that I might allow, just in light of the fact that I'm very sure that Lanfear and Sindain are the same person.
Swapping the two?
I'm just going to let Lanfear come back in.
Sure. We can fiddle with some of the rules.
And since I think Moradin is a Shamael, I'll do the same.
Sure.
With that. especially because they had quite the showing in the show. And it's no actors.
In the
but,
what?
I don't know. I've never... What? What am I talking about? Oh, Alviarin, you truly are in your find out era.
Yeah, but it seems like she's doing great at the same time. Like she's doing bad. She's doing bad.
Freaking out.
Also, that's the next POV, so we can pause it there. But she's freaking out, but she's also like, she keeps rubbing her Ash Wednesday. What's the opposite of an ash, I guess, because it's not like a holy mark, it's an unholy mark. There can't think of any.
What am I?
Snow,
all I'm
Snow
thinking
Monday.
is like upside down horseshoe.
Yeah.
An upside down horseshoe.
Well, it's the opposite of ash. Whatever.
Aren't horseshoes
Just-
always upside down though on the horse?
Well, the upside down thing is either it's sitting like a cup, or
No, that's the right way. That's the good luck way. Is if it's sitting like a cup.
yeah,
It's the good luck.
Upside
And if it's upside down
is that it's like tilted over because it's like a cup because the luck is supposed to fill it up.
Oh, but on the horse, they put them on like this. So
Well,
isn't that always bad luck then?
well, it's on the ground. It's not.
So it's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't
Okay.
matter. But you know what? It's invisible, so who cares? But we're going to talk about Pavara. What's going on with Pavara?
She's Black Aja hunting.
Yes, she is.
And she's having tea with some people.
Yes, she is.
And I was just worrying about this tea. You know?
Yes. Of all the POVs in the prologue, where would you put this one in terms of memorability?
It's lower.
Respectfully
Lower.
to my favorite D plot in the series.
I do like this.
I love the Black Aja Hunters. However, I just reread this, and I struggle to tell you what happens. Which is okay. It's a vibes POV. It's a check-in. We love check-ins. It does actually tell us a little bit. What is the main thing that we learn from this?
Oh God.
It's actually like a tertiary thing we get from a character who we don't see, who tells something to a character who tells something to Pavara.
Right. No, I remember there being some kind of like game of telephone.
Yes.
And well, Pavara's pretty sure Alviarin is a Black Aja. Everyone's suspicious of each other. Well, partially because Pavara is like, I refuse to believe that a red is Black Aja. Which I go, I get it, girl.
No,
but...
she has trouble believing it.
Oh,
but
she's really struggling with the fact that Galina probably is.
Yeah. Well, it has been outed to be one, yeah.
Yeah, she's struggling. Because I think she's one of those that like really believes in their mission.
Yeah.
Oh, we learn about her brother and her family dying.
Yeah, we get some backstory.
Yeah. But I forget what they tell her.
So Shayna comes in. And they're like, oh man, how goes it? And Shayna is like, all right, so I was talking to Elida, and you remember how I like logicked out that what she was asking of me was to ferret out the Black Aja? Turns out, I was totally wrong. And actually, she cornered me and she was like, have you found evidence that Alviarin is blackmailing people and is committing treason? So actually, this whole mission, this is not the mission that we were supposed to undertake.
Okay, but you should still undertake that
They
mission.
should, but then they go, oh, fuck. So does that mean that maybe Elida is Black Aja?
Oh, right.
Because that was their keystone piece of evidence that she was not, was that she had set them on this task.
Okay, but she's not.
Yeah, she's not. We've been in her head. It's highly unlikely based on everything she's thought.
I mean, if she is a Black Aja, this is me externally. If she is a Black Aja, she's a fairly incompetent one, so maybe we don't even worry about it.
Yes. But we're with Pavara. She's hanging out with Tsutama Wrath. Who is Tsutama Wrath?
Tsutama Wrath? A gray Aja?
No.
Or she's somebody. I can't remember. But she's kind of suspicious.
She's the new Red Aja highest. She's Galina's replacement.
Oh, and so I think she's like, are you... Why are they replacing Galina? Because
Galina has been kidnapped, assumed dead.
Oh, okay.
Right? She went missing at Demise Wells.
And Pavara's suspicious of what's her name?
Pavara of Tsutama?
Yeah, Tsutama, right? Isn't she suspicious of her or maybe that was just me.
I don't
because I was like, well, wouldn't the Black Aja
so.
want the replacement to be Black Aja?
Yeah, but I don't know that comes up. I don't remember that coming up.
I think I was just worried that was going to be.
She's uncertain about her, but she's not sure if she's a dark friend or if she's just a little unhinged.
Oh, okay.
She says, when Katerina brought word that Galina was among the dead Demise Wells, Tsutama had been raised to replace her by near acclamation. She had possessed a very good reputation as a sitter, at least before her involvement in the disgusting events that led to her downfall, and many in the Red believed the times called for as hard a highest as could be found.
What was that? The badness? What do they call it?
The vileness? Yeah, it might have been the vileness. Galina's death had lifted a great weight from Pivara's shoulders, the highest a dark friend. Ugh, that had been agony. Yet she was uncertain about Tsutama. There was something wild about her now, something unpredictable. Was she entirely sane? But then the same question could be asked regarding the whole White Tower. How many of the sisters were entirely sane now?
Yeah, they're all suspicious of each other, and they're just sticking to their ajas, right?
Pretty much, yeah. It's
and they're like
why
bringing
is
their
that
warders
happening?
everywhere.
Yeah. Why is there so much distrust?
Elida's been sowing a lot of distrust between them.
Deliberately?
Yeah. I mean, kind of. No, she's like praising certain ones and disciplining others and making it look like Ajas have kind of
fractured,
fucked over other Ajas.
And why is she doing this?
Because she's an idiot? There was a reason.
Yeah, there was an explicit reason.
Screw with Alviarin?
No. Vice versa.
Alviarin screwing with her.
Alviarin is making her do this.
Right.
Yeah. So really, Alviarin via Misana has probably done some of the most successful fuckery of the Black Aja, of the Dark Friends, of the Forsaken.
Well, that's the thing. They've explicitly stated that's what they want, right? They want chaos.
Yeah.
And Misana's thing is she's like, I'm going to like build the tower to break it down, right? Yeah. So I'm going to build the tower in the most chaotic image I can so that it will inevitably fall down on its own.
Now, admittedly, Semirog annihilated the entire Shanshan court, so I guess that's a lot of chaos too, but we're not seeing that. So I don't know if I can count it.
I mean, I think there's a lot of argument to be said that the women Forsaken have been very effective.
Yes. More effective perhaps than this is my city now, get fucked, Althor. I
mean, you could argue that is what Semirog is doing, but she's not doing it from now I'm the Empress.
Yeah, she hasn't taken any power.
So here I am, obviously out in the open, come snipe me.
Basically, all of the men, the three main men Forsaken, grabbed a city, took power, and then were killed.
Yeah, I think they just, I loved the Lanfear diss in
what?
Something. I said in something where she said the boys couldn't execute a plan if they were under compulsion. That was so funny. So they did successfully do what they wanted to do. They just did it so obviously that they couldn't maintain it because they put themselves out in the open to get shot.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in Big Brother.
Oh, yeah.
Or
the
Survivor.
Biggest threat.
They put themselves out as the biggest threat.
The more we talk about Forsaken Survivor, the more I like that comparison.
Yeah, I think it's an apt comparison.
It is.
I think Grendel's playing the middle, Semirog, and but yeah, so now there's been kind of like this power vacuum introduced, but like also this weirdness with Moradin.
Yeah.
And so now the women have to play more actively.
Yeah, really, Moradin getting brought back and promoted kind of fucked everybody's plans.
Yes. And I think now they have to play more offensively because of it. Plus, we're getting closer to the end game.
We are.
And once the end game happens, listen, we're at the merge at this point. Moradin's the merge.
Sure, yeah.
You know, the big event that happens where like now...
If you don't know what we're talking about, look up Survivor Merge.
Yeah, but now everybody's got to play for themselves. Right? Instead of playing these groups.
Sure.
So now they're starting to and they have to play big enough to be impressive to the Dark One.
Sure.
So that they get the votes at the end to win.
Now, as I look at the time clock, I realize we're really overdue for ads. So we're going to take a quick break and then we'll be right back. Welcome back. We're going to keep rolling with Pivara. She and Tsutama, I think she's there with a couple other people. Javindra's there. It's a meeting of a handful of Reds, and it's actually just the three of them. She's got this letter from Sashala Anderley, and what's the rundown of this letter?
Oh God, something about dark friends, I think, right?
No.
Okay.
Nope. Hey, everything in Tovine's letter is true. Now, she doesn't say that explicitly, but that's the thrust of it.
Okay.
Right?
What was Tovine's letter?
Tovine's letter was, hey, we attacked Black Tower. It didn't work out so hot.
Oh, yeah. And now they're
bonded. Yeah.
Bonded. Yeah. That was like warders, but that's not right.
She goes, along with a number of other sisters who I will leave to decide for themselves whether to reveal what I am about to, I have sworn an oath of fealty to the Dragon Reborn, which is to last until Tarman Gaiden has been fought. What I do for the good of the Red Aja and the good of the Tower. Should you disagree, I will surrender yourself for my discipline after Tarman Gaiden. As you may have heard, Ergain Fatamed, Ranaila Vivanios, and I were all stilled when the Dragon Reborn escaped at Demise Wells. We have been healed, however, by a man named Damer Flynn, one of the Ashaman, and we all seem to be restored fully. Unlikely as this seems, I swear beneath the light and by my hope of salvation and rebirth that it is true. I look forward to my eventual return to the Tower, where I will retake the 3 oaths to reaffirm my dedication to my Aja and to the Tower. And Tsutama is like, anyway, the rest is just this repeating itself and being like, I'm really sorry, but I had to do this. Please don't fuck me up.
Yeah, it is. That does put them in a funny position, the Elida group, because they swore an oath of fealty to the dragon, so they can't do anything to him. But they're also, their allegiance lies with the White Tower as well. It's a weird position to be in.
They talk about Loghain being healed. They talk about men healing Stilling. They talk about the Shanchan and how that's kind of concerning, and they're a little concerned about that whole thing. And then they kind of circle back to the whole should we bond Ashaman or not plan. And how does that conversation go?
They want to do it.
They want to do it, and they're like, and you know what? We just won't tell Elida. We'll just do it without telling her.
I'm always team don't tell Elida anything.
Yeah.
Just put her in a room where she can't hurt herself.
Just let her write her letters.
Not in a dark way. Just like,
no, I know.
Dumb and she walks into walls.
So then she goes to a meeting with the Black Aja Hunter Brigade. How's that go?
They're still really kind of unsure. You know, they've got some suspects. They've got some confirmed Black Aja. I just need them to start grabbing sisters and forcing them to retake the oaths again.
Which they are kind of doing, but they're not doing it at random, right? Because they found a lead, and now they are slowly kind of lightly torturing those leads to get...
They're going up the daisy chain.
Yeah, and they're slowly expanding outward.
Right. So they'll get like, okay, I've got two of them. They each know 3, and we'll just keep kind of getting the 3 that they know.
Yeah. Of all the ones they've captured, only one had a warder, and the warder was a dark friend, and when he found out that his Aes Sedai Karale had been captured, he poisoned himself. He drank poison, and they're like, which was kind of, you know, like, I hate to say this, we kind of lucked out with that one, because we couldn't actually, you know, command him not to rat us out.
It's true.
Because the oath rod wouldn't work on him.
That's true. It wouldn't? Oh, no, yeah, I guess because he's not magic, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, if you're a Black Aja, your warders have to be kind of, right?
Well, you can keep it secret from them.
I guess.
It's hard, but you can.
It just feels like it would be really tough to do. And if you don't have to do that, why would you?
So how does that tie into your Vandine theory?
What, that he poisoned himself?
No. The warder dark friend thing.
Oh, because she had a warder?
They kind of shared one. He was... who was he bonded to?
I thought Tomas was...
No, not Tomas. Tomas wasn't there. Wasn't there another...
I thought that Vandine had Tomas.
No, Tomas is Varen's warder.
Oh, that's right. They do have a guy, though, an older guy.
Jaime.
Did they share one?
He was bonded to Vandine, but he kind of hung out with both of them.
I mean, she could have bonded him before she became Black Aja, though. You don't necessarily become Black Aja day one.
True. I'm just saying, should we keep an eye on Jaime?
I mean, yeah. If we're suspecting Vandine, we should also keep an eye on Jaime. I like Jaime. I like Van Dien too.
I like
This
Van
is
Dien
hard.
too. Look, all of your Black Aja suspects, I like.
But see, I think we can't just not like the evil people.
Oh no, yeah, I think it's more interesting if we like the
It's
potential
way
evil
more
people.
interesting if we like the potential evil people. Like, yeah, I think there should be some people who are just in it for themselves and are just nasty people because, yeah, I guess there are definitely some of those in the world, right? But
Well, those are your Leandrins, right?
I mean, not in the thing
what?
we can't talk about.
But those are your book Leandrins,
Well,
right?
your Padan Fanes.
Yeah, your Padan Fanes, your Paters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
Suroths.
Suroths. Yeah. We have plenty of those. We need some that are a little bit more of a middle ground, just like we need some sucky normals, like Elida.
So they've got Dark Friends in hand. Still, they had 4 names plus 4 sisters in hand who would admit they were Dark Friends, though likely Maris would be the latest one they got, would be as quick as the other 3 to claim she now rejected the shadow, repented of her sins, and embraced the light once more.
That's bullshit.
Enough to convince anyone. Supposedly, the Black Aja knew everything that passed in Elida's study.
So I guess they can't say that if they don't mean it.
Well, they can, because they have forsworn... Oh, well, true. Because they make them re-swear the oaths.
Mm-hmm.
But do they mean it in a I will commit to this forever way, or do they mean it in a, well, this has to be what I say to stay alive way?
Well, is it like a I mean it right now because it is in the preservation? Yeah, like I guess they could
Oops, I got found out. I'm sorry.
twist it in their brains
Yeah.
to make it so that they can say it.
But what is the roadblock they've hit? Oh, and also something I like is they mention now that any message that is remotely important is heavily ciphered to the extent that only the sender and the receiver can decipher it. And then in the next POV...
Which is a good idea.
The next POV is Alviarin getting heavily ciphered messages. And I just think that the way that Robert Jordan has started like actually threading together his POVs and threading together these transitions.
I like it a
it's
lot.
so fucking good.
I like it a lot.
This is a banger book.
I like
so
when
far.
we get to spend time in a lot of different people's heads. You know, I think his POV writing is so strong.
Yeah.
He understands his character's point of views so well that I like getting to see, a lot of different people and just have him show off a little bit that he's really good at doing this. It's a really good skill. It's really hard to like make really distinct people like he does. It's really good. So they're getting ciphered messages. Varen's doing her ciphers. Alviarin's got ciphered messages. Everyone's ciphering now. It's the new hot trend. But does that imply that Alviarin's getting ciphered messages from similar people?
Well, she's getting Black Aja.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand that. But like, could some of those people overlap?
What people?
Though it seems like they're really, the Pavara group and the Alviarin group, like, is there any overlap between them? I guess there are.
Yeah. Well, because she starts talking about Talene, who is one of the Black Aja that has flipped.
Right.
Also, kind of the roadblock now is that all the people that they have captured, their cells, the other members of their cells, are not in the tower right now. So they've kind of mushroomed out as far as they can.
Tricky.
And Talene has been summoned to a meeting of the Supreme Council.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, they're either promoting me or they are going to torture me. So please hide me so I don't have to go. Because I don't think they're promoting me.
Why would they torture her?
Because she's acting a little squirrely. She's acting a little out of the ordinary. Because,
Maybe time to put the gray man in her bed, you know what I mean?
Yeah, perhaps.
Fly straight.
So what do they want to do about this meeting of the Supreme Council?
What do they want to talk about? What are they doing? Didn't we just say?
No.
Talene's going to go.
Well, Pavara goes, all right, here's the move. We rush him. We bum rush him. We charge the meeting.
Oh, and just like take
Let's
a bunch
just
of them.
fuck him up.
I think that's dumb. Don't do that. I know Pavara has her like sad reasons for wanting to do that.
Yeah. Which are what, by the way? Because I think we've talked about this before, but I feel like it does get brought up again in this. I don't remember if it gets brought up again in this part.
I thought I did, but maybe I thought I learned more, but now my notes are making me feel like I didn't.
Well, maybe we just
maybe
remembered
that was
it
the
from
last
Crossroads.
book.
Crossroads went by real fast.
Crossroads was a fever dream.
Yeah.
So I feel like, to Pavara's whole family died including her like 12-year-old
her, like,
brother.
baby brother.
They were all killed by dark friends.
Yeah.
And she wasn't there. And that haunts her, and it's kind of informed her whole character. So I get that she wants to bum rush them because she's like, okay, this is my way of like retribution. But what I think they should do is like wait until the last one leaves and grab her.
That would be better.
Or like hide somewhere and try to see if they can see who they are. Well, what about their other gals? Can't they go to the meeting?
They weren't summoned.
Oh, that's tricky.
Although I think what they want to do is order their oath-sworn dark friends to fight alongside them.
Order their oath-sworn dark friends.
So they'd be 19 versus 13.
Oh, okay.
But
it just feels like that's going to be
Oh, yeah, it's a terrible idea.
Yeah, I think that's a bad idea. I think there's a better way.
But I like it because...
Can they mirror... No, because they can see the weaves.
Summoned. And
No. But I'm like, could they find out where the meeting is going to be and like hide in a closet?
Well, I assume they're all going to be veiled.
No, I know. My thing is I'm like, snatch the like last one leaving.
Yeah, maybe.
And then they can have another trail.
I like that when she proposes this, Yukiri looks at her shawl and goes, yes, red. I thought it might have turned green when I wasn't looking. There'll be 13 of them, you know. Even if some of this council are out of the tower, the rest will bring in sisters to make up the number. So anyway, they discuss this.
I mean, they only need one lead, right?
They also were like, listen, if we don't kill or capture all 13 of them, the entire Black Aja is going to know that we are trying to find and kill them. And they will fuck us up.
That's true.
Which, notably, in the Alviarin chapter, what happens?
Oh, fuck. Did I read these?
She's walking around thinking about getting her forehead poked by Shaidar Hardon. Ooh, bad wording, Gus. And she's like, Yukiri and Dosine are acting kind of weird. Maybe I should have them killed.
Oh, right.
And then she's like, no, I'll hold off on
that.
Okay,
yeah, maybe bum rushing is the only thing they can do.
Well, but no, it wouldn't work, is what she's saying. She's like, if we play all our cards now and we don't win, we're fucked.
It's true. Ooh, decisions. Then what do they do instead, though? They're at a stopping point and...
Wait for someone to come back, I guess.
They're getting suspicious of the sisters they do have.
Yeah.
Wait for someone to come back? I guess.
So they discuss news from their Ajas and what they have, and they're like, all right, well, you know what? Maybe we wait until Elida gives us another push, to do something. Let's let Elida call this thing. And then Shayna comes up and she's like, what's up? Great bad news. Elida actually didn't want us to do this. I completely misinterpreted this.
Well, shit. Now they're going to be like, should we grab Elida? Ugh. Decisions.
I've just come from answering a summons to Elida. She wanted to know how I was getting on with discovering proof that Alviarin entered a treasonous correspondence with the Dragon Reborn. Really, she was so circumspect in the beginning, so indirect. It's no wonder I misunderstood what she wanted. And they're like, well, fuck.
Why would Elida change things?
Because they thought...
Oh, she was just like being like, oh, investigate Alviarin.
Yeah.
And they took it to Black Aja territory?
No, because if you remember, Alviarin made her swear not to betray her. And then Elida comes into Shayna's room and is like, hey, buddy, there's might be mischief. I don't know how high that could go. I don't know. It could go, have you ever heard of a role called Keeper? I have. It's an interesting role. Anyway, apropos of nothing, I don't know, man. There might be something
to look into.
Business going on. And Shayna, understandably, was like, connect the dots. She thinks that Alviarin's Black Aja. So she thinks there's Black Aja in high places. So she wants me to hunt the Black Aja.
Why can she be more specific now?
Because she kicked the shit out of Alviarin. You remember that?
Yeah, but she swore not to betray her.
That's true.
So can she renege on that now? Because
I guess so. Because there's this whole debate, this whole discussion that's kind of been happening in the background since book 6, since the end of book 6, where the Aes Sedai are discussing whether oaths that are strong-armed out of you that you did not want to give while you are under the first oath of the Oath Rod are actually binding. And they're like, okay, if you have to say it to save your life, do you actually have to commit to it long term? We're not sure.
Okay.
So this kind of suggests maybe not.
Okay.
Which I don't really understand the mechanics of that. But again, the oath threat always comes down to intent.
Right.
Right? I'm not sure, frankly, why she can betray her now.
Maybe because she can justify it by being like, she's no longer in the position that she was in.
Oh, she's not keeper.
She's not keeper
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah, that's probably it.
So perhaps that shift in their power dynamic made it so that it's like, it's not betrayal, it's me being in charge.
Yeah, that could work.
Does that work?
Did we ever figure out where Alviarin was when she was gone for like a month?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think we did. I don't think we got any hints either. She was just kind of gone.
Yeah, she just kind of dipped, which is weird.
It is weird.
It feels like that was a stupid thing to do because it gave Elida time to figure out what to do with her.
Well, she didn't seem to want to go. It seemed like he was ordered out.
Oh, so like Masana sent her?
I don't know. Or maybe one of the other Forsaken did.
But to do what?
Anyway, that's the end of the Pavara section. Allie, the next section is Alviarin. All the yarn herself.
All the yarn.
And boy, oh boy, does she have some today. Do you have any notes for the Alviarin section?
I did. I think I read it already, but I'll just remind us.
One. Yeah.
Well, I don't think I took a lot.
Just the one? Sure.
Alviarin, you truly are in your find out era.
Yeah.
So yeah, so she's walking around. She's got this like mark on her head. That
invisible,
Yeah, she feels, but no one can see. But
Yeah.
she's constantly thinking that they can see it. And she is getting all these ciphers from all these different people. She's thinking about Masana. She thought about Masana a lot.
Thinks about killing Masana.
She's thinking about killing Masana and whether that would blow back on her in a negative way or if Shaidar Hardon actually wants her to do that.
Also thinks about killing Elida. Also thinks about killing Yukiri.
Yeah, she's weighing her killing options and is unsure as to which one to go with. Yeah. And that was kind of it for her.
Also thinks about killing Shayna. Good lord, woman.
It was a lot more of a check-in with her, and she's doing poorly.
Shayna and Farana were heading out, despite the hour, shawls draped along their arms, and Shayna gave her a small smile of commiseration, which made her want to kill the sitter, always thrusting her sharp nose in where it was unwanted. Farana held no sympathy. She scowled with more open fury than any sister should have allowed herself to show. All Alviarin could do was try to ignore the copper-skinned woman without being obvious.
So these two are part of the brigade?
Farana, I don't remember. I have a little trouble keeping track of all of the names.
Well, I can't imagine why. They're all so distinct.
Point. Yeah, I know. Farana.
This would be a good game at WalkCon.
Yeah, well, that
Name
was...
as many of the Black Aja Brigade as you can. Or the Black Aja Hunters.
Farana.
I would get Pavara, and that is pretty much it.
Is the head of the White Aja.
Okay.
She's not part of the... No, she's not part of the thing.
Okay. What about the other one?
Shayna?
Mm-hmm.
That's the OG.
Right. That's what I thought.
Yeah. Shayna, who is probably actually pronounced Ciane, but I remember it better as Shayna.
Well, because otherwise there's like a bunch of C names.
Yeah.
So we have to make a distinction somewhere. Okay, so Shayna... All right, so she wants to kill Shayna. She wants to kill...
She wants to kill fucking everybody.
Elida. Yeah, she's got a list.
I think like she's mostly reeling from having been marked by Shaidar Haran.
She's the Arya of this tower. She's got a list.
Honestly, yeah. So she passes a couple of White Aja, and they're debating the mathematical rate of unexpected decay of foodstuffs.
Oh, yes, the bubbles of weevil.
Which, yes, but also I kind of appreciate that we have now reached the point where we're checking in with academics who are taking, the like Satan's effect being tangibly felt on the world. And they're like, you're so fucking stupid. It is this mathematician's rate of decay multiplied by this much logarithmically. And the other one is like, how dumb can you be? It's actually this other mathematician's theory that has been proven true by this. And they're it's really funny because we have Estrelle and Taysen. And Estrelle goes, Calculating with Raiden's standard of deviation, the rate is 11 times what it should be. Furthermore, this must indicate the intervention of the shadow. And then Tayson goes, the shadow? Yes, but Radoon's standard, it is outdated. Oh, she's an Ilianer. The shadow, yes, but Radoon's standard, it is outdated. You must use Corvinan's first rule of medians, and calculate separately for rotting meat or rotten. The correct answers, as I said, are 13 and 9. I have not yet applied it to the flour, the beans, and the lentils, but I don't know what the fuck my accent is, but it's working. But it seems intuitively obvious. And then Estrelle goes, Covenant's first rule? That hasn't been properly proven yet. And
she just Fermat's theoremed her.
Yeah, well, nice. I just think this is really funny.
Mm-hmm. She just was like, they're just debating Newton's law, Fermat's theorem. We've got the food scientists involved.
But I like that they're not trying to do anything about it, and both of them acknowledge, yes, this is the Shadow's work, but we need to figure out who was right.
Well, yeah, because they're academics.
The fucking White Hodge is so weird.
Academics are weird. Like, I mean, lovingly, they're weird, because they're going to just sit around all day theorizing. And then you're like, okay, what are the practical applications of this? And they're like, I don't know.
These ones in particular.
It's just neat. These ones in particular. Some academics. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, sometimes the fact that it's neat is enough to be like, yeah, why not know it? It's neat to know.
So she goes back to she's at the White Aja quarters. It's the least populated Aja, and there are only 20 of them in the tower anyway. But she's like, are they looking at my hard-on mark on my forehead? And they're like, no, girl, it's invisible. You're good. And she kind of reflects on everything. You're kind of on the ball here that this is just a check-in.
Which is not a problem.
No, not at all.
It's nice to know
it's a prologue.
How she's doing.
Yeah. Talene, she thinks about Talene because Talene didn't go to the meeting.
Oh, so they had the meeting.
They had the meeting. Talene didn't come. And she goes, the question was, had she panicked on receiving her summons to the Supreme Council, or was there something more? Something more, Alviarn decided. Talene had looked to Yukiri and Dysene as though seeking guidance, perhaps? She was sure she had not imagined it. Something more. Could she have? A very small seed of hope. She needed a threat to the Black Aja, or the Great Lord would withdraw his protection. And then she's like, maybe I should kill Masana. No, that's a bad idea. She's going to kill me if she can, but no, I'm not going to do that. Oh, and she gets these ciphered letters. She burns them. Anyway, I'm talking a lot. Any thoughts on anything else about this? She's investigating Yukiri and Dosine.
She's in a weird spot.
Yeah.
Is kind of where I'm at with her. I don't know where she goes from here, because, yeah, Masana's probably going to try. I mean, she's decided Masana's going to try to kill her because she witnessed her humiliation.
Yeah, I mean, frankly, I think she's right.
I mean, I think she's right, but is it? Yeah, I don't know how well she's going to stand up against Masana. So, but she's got the protection of Shaidar Hardon at this moment. So I guess, yeah, she's got to do what he wants. Otherwise, Masana will kill her.
Unless she can kill her sneakily. Because if Masana could, make her just die without it being obvious that she'd killed her, I bet she'd do it.
Yeah, shove her down the stairs.
Yeah.
But I feel like Shaidar Hardon would be onto that.
He would, but,
whatever.
I think, go ahead.
Yeah, I think, all she can do is maximum chaos.
What I think is really fun about this section, too, is that there's two things going on. One, Alviarn is humiliated to having been stripped of the Keeper's position.
Yes, so she's looking for revenge for that.
But she's also at the highest high she's ever been in her real career. So her day job, she just got demoted and yelled at and chewed out by her boss in front of everybody. But her artistic career is flourishing. She just got cast on a daytime soap, but she also got fired.
Honestly, that's so relatable.
Yeah.
It's your artistic highs usually are when you make the least amount of money somehow.
Yeah. Is the arts industry actually just the shadow?
Honestly, sometimes the way people talk about it
kind of feels like it sometimes.
But I jokingly all the time say, if I talked about a boyfriend, I talked about my arts career,
leave
people
him.
would be like, oh my God, you're in a toxic relationship. You have to leave. And I'm like, but I love him. You don't understand. He's good to me sometimes.
Oh, man. That's very true.
There are hard days. There are hard years. There are, hard decades.
But a couple of years ago, we had a really great month.
Yeah, he was so nice to me
It
for
was
a month.
really great there for a
Yeah,
minute.
every now and then I'm like, oh, cries an artistic career.
It's a stupid career.
So you know what?
I
We
love it.
did
I wouldn't
sign
do
up-
anything else.
Oh,
but-
it's true. It's like you have to love it more than anything in the world. See, but this again, like imagine me talking about a boyfriend like this. You have to love it more than anything in the world, even when it like hurts you more than you've ever been hurt before and breaks your heart constantly and doesn't show up when it says it will.
This is, yeah.
And it gives you like, it hurts you on your birthday. It hurts you on Christmas. But there are some moments where it's so worth it and you love it so much that you're willing to stick it out. But like, how sad would that be if I was talking about a person like that?
That's not what you want out of
But
a
you're like, but this is
relationship.
what's meant to be. We're meant to be together.
Yeah.
And you're like, girl, there's 6 billion people, 7 billion, 8 billion
It's
people
like
in this
8
world.
now.
Yeah.
So she starts writing orders for Talene to be found and punished or executed, and she's got to do something about Eucurian Dacine, and
She's a busy girl. She runs a business.
yeah.
She's got a side hustle.
And she's poking at her Shidar Haran mark the whole time. And yeah,
Listen,
man.
If Alviarin weren't the worst, she'd be goals.
Moradin / Rajesh was tweeting about, because he skipped Crossroads in his reread, and he went, the main thing from Crossroads that I kind of got whiplash was starting Knife of Dreams and being like, what the fuck is going on with Alviarin?
She got demoted.
But I like it because it's sort of all the things that happen in Crossroads, that is one of the bigger ones.
Yeah. Elida getting the upper hand on Alviarin,
Yeah.
and then the Shidar Haran being like, you're my favorite
Poke. Anyway,
of all the normal people. You have my protection. Go ham.
well, what could that mean for her down the line? Is this significant?
Could there be more chosen?
Could you ascend? Could you be promoted? Do you think we'll see new chosen, new Forsaken?
I feel like,
Is that what this is putting on
why
the table?
not? Why not? Right? I mean, they've ascended them before.
Yeah.
Why not? And, some of them have been real idiots.
Some of them have really been trash at their jobs. And a lot of them died.
There are a lot of dead ones. What? We've lost Agenor.
forever.
He's off the board.
Yeah.
Robin's off the board.
Robin's gone
Bael's
for
off
good.
the board.
Bael's gone for good.
Samael's off the board.
Samael apparently we decided wasn't worth the effort.
Unless in like 5 books he comes back.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have that kind of time. So yeah, I feel like why not? Is Alviarin strong enough?
Are there more?
Because don't they have to be a certain power level?
Historically, but also generally the power levels are a lot lower now.
Megidion's kind of fucking around, right?
Megiddian and Sindane Lanfear have been heavily demoted.
Right. So would they raise Alviarin?
I don't know. What do you think?
I think it'd be kind of interesting.
Are there any other candidates?
Does that do anything special to be raised? Or is it just like, cool, I'm now a Forsaken?
Well, I think you get immortality, right?
That's cool. Immortality. I mean, unless you get Bael fired. And do you get like a power up at all?
No, I don't think so.
Is Alviarin like particularly strong?
She is,
I mean, she
by
must be.
contemporary standards, yes. By old standards,
Okay.
not bad.
Okay. Well, I could see it. I see a world in which she gets raised.
Is anybody else on the table to be a new Forsaken? Across the board, not just in the White Tower.
Well, let's see. Who are our confirmed dark friends? Or who do I think are dark friends? Shiriam, but I think she's getting the shit kicked out of her. She's on the back foot, I think. And if she's a triple agent, then definitely not.
Yeah.
Who else do we know is Galina?
Well, don't forget, there are men as well. I don't want to
yeah.
restrict us to just
Oh,
Black
Mazzy
Aja.
Pizzazz.
The Master?
I think Master might have earned it. I think he's
Master,
bad.
that's good.
The Master?
Yeah. That's funny, actually, because his title is Mihail in the tower, which means teacher, master, something?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. But I just like calling him the Master.
The Master. So the Master, I think he might have earned it. It's got to be people who are like in really high positions who it feels like have done stuff of significance. I feel like Mazzy Pizzazz is up there because he's got his whole little like coterie.
He did a lot of work.
He's done a lot of work. He's put in the hours. He knows it's about drive. It's about power. We stay hungry. We devour. He's been doing all that.
He has.
So yeah, I feel like he's in the running. Good job reminding me of the men. I forgot about the men.
You were only talking about the ladies.
Okay. I'm going to put Galina on the board, but she's kind of on the back foot. Katarina as a potential. But I feel like Aviarin and Maz. Those are the two big ones.
Seems fair. Seems very reasonable. Very, very possible.
Of the people we know of.
All right. So that's...
I would love it if Varen is a Black Aja, which I'm on the fence about. I like partially don't want it to be true and partially do.
I love that Varen has kept you guessing so hard. I just really appreciate that there's at least one character that you are not really solidly one way or another on.
She's a hard one for me. I think it could go either way. The show that doesn't exist, if there were a show, hypothetically.
Love it, though, we do.
If there were hypothetically a show, made me really insecure about what's going on with her.
Well, we'll talk about that when we can talk about that.
I know.
But that's the end, Allie, of the Alviarin part. Allie, we're here now with Galina herself. A great transition, a great segue. Do you have any notes?
I do. Galina, ew.
Yeah.
So Tharava and Galina are just kink, right?
Yes. It's explicitly like master servant. Not even master servant, honestly. It's basically slave play.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah,
but there's no consent there.
There's no consent to it.
Which
so that's not good.
This is my thing. There's no kink shaming on this podcast, obviously. As long as everyone is a adult who is consenting, do your thing.
Yeah.
But this is not a consensual relationship.
It's really not.
The power dynamics are really bad.
They really are.
It's an HR nightmare.
It really is.
In every way.
Yeah.
It's illegal. It's not good. I don't like it. And it makes me uncomfortable that this is like the lesbian relationship we're seeing in these books. That's like very explicit, other than Swan and Moraine's, which was looked at as like, that was a college thing.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, anyway, uncomfy.
Mm-hmm. This is also why every time you bring up the bottom quite thoroughly joke, I cringe a little bit because he's talking about this. So, yeah. Anyway, we're going to talk about the other Galina shit. Do you have more notes?
No.
Oh, okay, great.
Can I describe kind of what happens?
Yeah.
As we're launching into it. So Galina, is writing out, she's thinking about the fact that, you know, Tharava's super mean to her. But she's being treated on the other hand, like she's being treated super shittily on one hand, but she gets like really nice clothes and all this stuff on the other hand. So it's kind of a weird situation. There's a lot to unpack there. But she gets captured by Gaul and another one of the like Ashaman couple of the Ashaman guys, right? And the whole time she's like, I know what's going on, like, but they're so stupid camping this close. Like the Aiel, the Shido are just gonna like sweep through them. This is really stupid. And also Tharava is gonna beat the shit out of me because she's not gonna accept this as an excuse, which this feels like a toxic work environment to the extreme.
Mm-hmm.
So she's kind of, you know, being hauled around. They go through this gateway. And she gets to Perrin.
Yeah.
And and Perrin goes, have you seen my wife?
My wife.
And she immediately starts thinking to herself, if he takes Fael back at this time, it's going to ruin my plans.
Yes. Which are what?
Ooh. She wants to escape on her own terms?
Get the oath rod out
right. So that she can be cleared of her oaths.
Yeah, because she has an oath to never channel unless Tharava says she can. And also to obey Tharava.
Right. I thought it was Savannah. I thought Savannah made her swear to Savannah.
It is, yeah, it's Savannah and
but by
Tharava
extension,
kind
Tharava.
of, it was all the wise ones, but mostly Savannah.
Okay. So she wants to get that oath rod back. Sorry, I forgot about the oath rod of it all. She's doing her thing. Yeah, so she wants to get get the oath rod so she can forswear her oaths to Savannah. And if Perrin invades the camp and to take his wife back, that will throw that plan into disarray. Why she can't plan around it, I won't understand.
Well, she says, give me a week.
Why doesn't she? And he's like, I can't give you a week. Why doesn't she?
He does give her a week. At the end of this, he says
he's
fine,
going to give
her
a couple days. They negotiate about the amount of time, I thought.
Oh, sorry. No, he doesn't. You're right. She tries to get a week and it doesn't work. Okay, my bad. You're right.
Yeah, I'm not sure why she can't plan around this and go, okay, while the chaos is happening, Tharava's going to be occupied probably trying to stop people from killing everybody. So while she's occupied...
She cannot go into the tent and take it.
I know. She could get someone else to go into the tent and take it while Tharava is occupied.
Good point.
And in exchange, she will tell them where Perrin wants them to go.
Well, or not, because she's an asshole. So
well, yeah, she doesn't have to tell. What she can tell them, though, Perrin gave me stuff to do, stuff for you to do when he invades. I will tell you the details of the plan if you do this.
Sure, I hear you there.
On this day.
So, we're with Tharava.
I think that's a better plan. But Galina's kind of an idiot.
She's kind of just like dastardly for no good reason. So, we are with Pavara. She's on a ride. Not Pavara, I'm sorry. Galina, we just left Pavara. She's on a little ride, thinking about things, reminding us what's going on. And then Gaul just busts in, grabs her bridle. She's like, the fuck are you doing, man? Dumber than rocks, idiot. Well, Tharava's going to slap the shit out of you.
Yeah, at first she thinks that he's one of the Shido.
Yeah. And he yanks her off the horse and goes, be silent, guy shine. And she's like, oh shit. Okay, well, that's not good. And he takes her back, Nield is the one who's with them. I think the two Ashaman that Perrin has with him, as I remember, are Grady and Nield.
Amazing.
Jur Grady and Fager Nield. Grady, who is the one, by the way, whose wife stared at Rand and made him feel bad. Remember that whole thing from book 6?
Oh, yeah.
When he goes to the farm and like Neil, like the women just look at him.
And she's got like a little kid, right?
Yes.
A little boy.
She has a young child.
Yeah. She's not particularly happy with Rand. I wouldn't necessarily blame her.
The gateway out of here. Galina spends the whole time going like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? This is so weird. But I think she's blindfolded at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't realize that they go through a gateway. She thinks she's like right outside of Malden.
Right.
And yeah, that's why she's like, you idiots are camping like 20 feet from the Shido.
Right.
But are they?
No.
And
we know that. She just doesn't.
So Gaul smacks her on the ass because she starts yelling. She starts like yelling for rescue because they ungag her.
Here's the thing.
It doesn't say smacks her on the ass. It says a hard hand smacked her rudely.
Oh.
And rudely implies to me on the ass.
Could be.
It could be. I think they're drawing a little parallel here with Roland.
I thought that too. Here's the thing about smacking someone when they're yelling. It would make me yell more.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, ow. That's my response to being smacked, which I am not often.
Yeah. Oh, no.
But
that's not a
would
thing
be
that
my response. So I'm like, I just don't understand hitting someone when you want them to be quiet because I would be louder if someone hit me.
I would. Anyway,
maybe they're trying to shock them, but then I would do something weird.
She takes her to the tent, which is very explicitly the tent that is drawn on the cover of the book. Very, very, very explicitly. In stark contrast to the ramshackle camp outside, there was a good flowered carpet for a floor here, and 2 silk hangings embroidered with flowers and birds in a Kyrianan fashion hung from the roof poles.
Nice, Baron.
She focused on a tall, broad-shouldered man in his shirt sleeves with his back to her, leaning on his fists against a slender-legged table that was decorated with lines of gilding and covered with maps and sheets of paper. And I guess when we say a tall man, we mean this dude, Perrin, the Samael man.
Well, when you are 4'10",
I guess
apparently, which is what Galina is.
Looks like in this, yeah.
In that painting, drawing.
It's a painting. It's art. Whatever, in this artwork.
Yeah.
It's
about
very
4'10".
The more I look at the Daryl K. Sweet covers, the more I weirdly like them. I just think maybe I'm becoming more and more nostalgic for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is a nostalgic quality to them. Yeah.
Some of them more than others. This one is very well detailed.
I really fucking love the ebook covers.
Oh, I like them too. Look, we can look at the Gathering Storm cover in a minute. That is one of my less preferred Daryl K. Sweet covers. Anyway, so you guys talk to Perrin. How's this conversation go? What do they talk about?
Perrin says, "Have you seen my wife? Is she okay?"
Pretty much, yeah.
And Galina says, "Yeah." Well, this is the part I really remember because I started getting frustrated with Galina because the plan should be use the chaos of Perrin attacking to grab the Oath Rod by using a proxy. You can hold the plan over Fael's head and her group's head in order to convince them to help you.
That would work.
I feel like that's the easiest thing.
That would actually work quite well, I think.
So I'm just like, woman, use your brain. This is actually an opportunity. Chaos is an opportunity. So this is my feeling because I go, how else will you do it? You know? How else are you going to get in there? This is my feeling. So I think her plan is dumb. But so she immediately starts lying to Perrin as much as she can.
Yeah, as soon as possible.
As soon as possible. She goes, Fael's fine, but, she won't be if you mess around.
Mm-hmm.
You will get killed. Your whole group will get killed. And I can't, she goes, she's under my protection.
Bullshit.
Yeah, such
but
bullshit.
But also kind of true.
But
not
also,
really,
yeah, I mean, she's protecting her insofar as she's not outing her as Perrin's wife.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how much that would change anything other than like them maybe they wouldn't hold her for ransom.
No.
I don't think they care actually that she was Perrin's wife because they know Alejandra is a queen.
Savannah might care because Perrin is adjacent to Rand and she still is kind of fixated on marrying Rand.
Okay, but what would she do with Fael?
I don't know.
In that sense. They don't even know where Rand is.
Yeah, I know, but they don't know that.
Well, I mean, what would they do? Offer her as a hostage? They don't do that. They're shy. I mean, I know they're breaking with tradition, but wouldn't being offered as a hostage kind of be a good thing in some way? I don't know. Because that's what they kind of assumed was happening before, was that they would be offered as hostages rather than be kept as slaves their entire lives.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm going to pick one...
Oh, yeah, I take hostage over
take hostage.
Slave, yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what the point of... See, this is my thing. If I were in this situation, I would be like, well, I don't really know what the point of you keeping this a secret and having me under your thumb is. I could just walk over to them and say, hey, I'm related to parent. What are they going to do? They'll probably have more incentive to keep me alive.
Probably.
So there's that.
And also,
they might treat me nicer if they want Rand to be a part of this group, because I'd be like, you should probably treat me nicely because Rand's not going to be happy if he finds out you treated his friend meanly. So he probably won't want to work with you then.
I think it's also funny. She's like, listen, I'm keeping Fael and all her peeps safe, so y'all should really get the fuck out of here because you're very much like 50 feet from their camp. You're
screwing with my protection.
Yeah, leave now so they don't kick the shit out of them.
Yeah, because once they figure out that you're here for her, they're going to, I can't protect her anymore. And that is all.
Wait. Arganda goes, if Alejandra is in danger, Lord Perrin. And Perrin is like, will you shut up?
I can't with this guy. This guy annoys the shit out of me. Here's why. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way.
What you're saying is...
Because I've had enough of this dude.
There's no fucking way you care more about your boss, because that's ultimately what she is.
Yeah.
Right? She's your boss.
She's his liege lady. Right?
What is that if not a boss?
It's slightly more intense than a boss.
Okay, but at the end of the day...
He's sworn his life to protect and defend her. He ain't doing this for the paycheck.
So it's a toxic work environment that says we're a family. Okay, that's the equivalent, right? We've been raised on this idea that you die for your job, and it's like that's all bullshit. They don't actually care that much about you. Stop trying that hard.
Quiet quitting is just doing your job.
It is. Yeah, we've been fed on this steady lie that if you are the best one there and the shiniest person and you burn yourself out for your job, that they're going to reward you for that. And you know what? In late stage capitalism, that's proving to be not true. So yeah, they don't really care about you. If you left them, they would replace you in a week. Or they'd use it as an excuse to try and eke more out of the blood of the other workers there.
Yeah.
So anyway.
How do you really feel?
But I've had a lovely time on my writing jobs.
I bet you
I
have.
just not every other job I've worked, but several other jobs I've worked have been that situation. And it's made me a little mad.
Understandable.
But my writing has been amazing.
So
Here's the thing, though.
right.
Here's the thing. Galina's an idiot because she could totally have used this as an opportunity. But instead, what she does is she starts lying immediately, which lies that will be very easily unpacked the minute that Perrin either invades or like sees Fael and has one conversation with her. But this fucking guy pipes up and is like, but my boss, we're a family, corporate life, meh. And I'm like, there is no fucking way, my dude, that you care more about your liege lady than Perrin does about his literal fucking wife.
I think that you coming in hot for Arganda, Gerard Arganda, is my new favorite thing.
He is the most annoying character in the books to me at this point.
Where's my phone?
The
Here it is.
most annoying character, other than Massima. Massima annoys the shit out of me too.
Massima's up there for
So
sure.
for me, it goes Arganda, Massima, because at least Massima, no, they're tied. And then Lida is like right under that right now because I feel a little sorry for her because she's such an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
But Arganda, I'm like, I would literally, if I were Perrin, I would snap. I would turn to him and be like, my dude, unless you are fucking this woman, there is no way that, in which case, let's have a further conversation about that because I love the tea. There is no way you care about her more than I care about my wife. No one has ever in the history of the planet, unless you are so fucked up that they're, honestly, talk to me because I have a lot to unpack there then. There's no way you care more about your boss because that's what she is. She's a boss with like some toxic work environment shit and no work-life balance. There's no way you care about her more than I care about my literal spouse.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of bosses. I really have liked some of my bosses. A lot. But you know what? There's no fucking way I care about them more than I care about you.
Yeah. Likewise, bud.
No way.
So
Anyway, so that annoys me.
Galina is like, anyway,
Yeah.
you should leave.
So back to a different idiot. Galina starts lying immediately, lies that are going to be very easy to unravel the minute that Perrin gets his wife back, which I know he will because it's Perrin. And like, if there's one thing he fucking loves, it's that Fael. Okay? Because truly, who would he be without her? She does almost everything for him.
She does do a lot.
Oh my God. Battle of Two Rivers, he'd be dead. He would be literally dead without her. So he owes her his fucking life. So also, again, Arganda, there's no fucking way you care more about whatever her face is. I don't even know her name.
Alejandra.
There's the only reason I know her name is because it sounds a little like mine.
That does, actually, yeah.
So there's no way. There's no way. But sorry, I'm like all over the place because they're both so stupid in this scene.
Is this the Arganda slander hour?
It is.
The Arganda slander hour.
I fucking hate this guy.
This
Oh,
tickles me
Talonvor's
so
up there
much.
too. Talonvor's on the
up there.
list. Those are the 4 most annoying characters to me. And Perrin
So, wait,
is
wait,
dealing with 3 out of the 4 most annoying characters.
Who's the fourth one?
Wait, Arganda, Massima, and Talonvor.
Yeah, who's the fourth one? You said Perrin is dealing with 3 of 4. Who's the other one?
Elida.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
But she's lowering herself on the list just because I feel sad for her.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I feel bad for people. There's nuance.
And I appreciate that.
But there's no way I would not fucking snap if I were Perrin. You know what? More power to Perrin that he hasn't turned to them all and been like, shut the absolute fuck up right now.
Yeah.
I don't care about fucking any of you. Because if it were me and you were kidnapped, I would read people their rights so fast. They would be Miranda'd quickly. I would go, you need to be aware of your rights before I fucking kill you, because there is absolutely no goddamn way that in addition to the trauma of having my spouse kidnapped by people away from me for weeks, that I'm also dealing with being annoyed. There's no way. I would have snapped. I would have snapped several times. Ugh, Jesus. You know you're annoying when you make me stand up for Perrin.
Hey, we love Perrin on this podcast.
I do love Perrin.
We have slandered him many times, but we love the guy.
Oh, we do. I have no love for those 4, though. I have no love for them. They have not endeared themselves to me one iota. So then Galina, the fucking dumbass, goes like, all right, let me just lie my ass off in a way that can be so easily like undone. So now I have to kill Fael and all of Fael's friends. Rather than do the easiest thing on the planet, which is, hey, I am your key to salvation. All I need in return for my generous giving of your salvation is for you to do one thing for me during the chaos. You think Fael wouldn't do it?
I think Faela already is kind of working for Galina a little bit.
It's easy. This is manipulation 101.
I maintain
she's practically manipulating a toddler at this point.
I maintain that the storyline of Fael being kidnapped from within the camp, less Roland, would be a lot more fun to read than Perrin looking at maps and bustling around.
Wait, this woman, she's like, okay, it's like she's being presented with, okay, steal candy from a baby. All right? Because the Rava's not going to be anywhere near her tent while this is all going down. There's no way, right? She's going to be fighting with everybody else. So her tent's going to be completely vacated.
Yeah, I think the concern is that she's going to make Galina fight with her.
She can't use the power as a weapon.
Yeah, she can, because she's Black Aja.
Okay, so the concern is she's going to make her fight with her.
I'm not entirely sure what the concern is, but yeah.
You think that she can't get lost in the chaos of a fight, though?
Yeah.
There's no way. In the chaos of a battle, she can't slip away somehow? There's no way. And if she makes it her business to be as far away from Tharava as possible when she knows the fight's going to go down, oh, come on. I just don't believe it. So she's looking at this and she's like, okay, here's a steal candy from a baby scenario. So instead of just taking the fucking candy, right, which is the like obvious thing, I'm going to rappel down into the babies. Like she's doing this. It's too much. It's too much. Like there's a simple plan. What is that thing? Occam's razor.
Occam's razor.
Right? Like this is Occam's plan. Whatever the simplest plan is, we do that. That is the simplest plan, which means that there are the least amount of potential mistakes or issues. Because if she kills Fael and all of her friends, who the fuck's going to give her the oath rod?
I think the idea is she gets the oath rod, kills Fael and her friends.
Too much. Why?
Kills Tharava.
What's the point? What's the point?
She's nefarious.
Oh, stop it. She's an idiot. She's a numbskull is what she is. She's an idiot. We're all so lucky I'm not evil because I'd be like, this is the easy plan. This is the simplest thing to do. We get point A, point B. How do we get there as quickly and easily as possible? But instead she's like driving with a Google Maps that is like 25 years out of date. Like all the streets are changed. Like it's just the most crooked, circuitous route she could possibly take. It's silliness. How is she in charge of the Red Aja? We're going to rappel down into this baby's nursery. I'm going to roll a smoke bomb in there. Like it's too much. It's too much. Then I'll put the baby in a chokehold. It's like, no, it's a baby. Take the candy. It's easy. The parent has actually presented her with a solution to her problem. But she's so intent. This is the thing. I feel like some of them are so intent on like, what's the evilest thing I can do?
So
that and you know what? You know what is crazy and cool about this too? Is that she could still kill them if she wanted.
She could. Well, she can't channel who could kill who?
She could still kill Fael if she wants to.
Yeah.
If she's feeling the inkling after she gets the oath rod. But this is the easiest way for her to get the oath rod, is to have the chaos of the battle happening. It's perfect timing.
So are you saying that this is
she's Pepe Sylvia-ing.
So
it's too much. Yeah. It's too much. Anyway, everyone in the scene is being so dumb it's wild. When Perrin looks like the brain trust of the situation, we have a problem.
Perrin, she comes in to talk to Perrin and Berylane and everybody else, and Gaul is looming there in the corner, staring off into the camera.
Another character is taking stupid pills. Berylane. What the hell is up with her? Perrin is surrounded by idiots right now. He needs his wife back just for that reason alone.
Is this Perrin's Taviran effect? He makes everyone around him dumber?
Oh my God.
Could that be it?
Oh my God. Wait. Stop. Hold on. Rand makes everyone around him like either more violent or falling in love. That's like the two things that happen when he's around. Like it's either like weird violence or everyone's in love,
Yeah.
which seems to be following everything that's been happening to him so far.
Sure.
Matt makes everyone horny.
That's what I was thinking before you. I was
Everyone's
genuinely
horny.
going to say that.
It's severe
Matt makes
and
everyone
horny.
horny.
Matt makes everyone horny, and I think like sometimes weirdly lucky. And Perrin makes everyone dumb.
Oh my god. So
And also ghosts.
Ghosts. All right.
Could that be happening because of Tuvirin? The ghosts?
No, I mean honestly, we can entertain more conversation about the ghosts. I do believe that the ghosts are intended to show that the pattern is kind of fraying and breaking down.
Here's my thing.
It's the ghosts and weevils.
I can't decide whether or not the ghosts will make an appearance in the thing we can't talk about. Because I feel like no. But I also feel like,
Listen,
hilariously, maybe.
keep reading.
Are they important?
Keep reading.
Do they become important?
At this point, it seems not. Perhaps there will be important ghostly things.
But
to come.
I go, what's going to separate them from the heroes of the horn in people's
That's
minds?
a great question. Well, let's see where they go with it.
Okay, let's see where they go with it.
So Galina comes in and she's like, y'all motherfuckers got to get the hell out of here. And Perrin goes, come here and look at this. And he grabs a map and Berylane, Berylane is like, hey, sorry about him. How are you doing? I'm Berylane.
His wife's been kidnapped, so
And-
he's, in a little bit of a high pressure situation.
Galina goes, yeah, I know who you are. You're a ruler of a tiny nation state. I definitely know what the rulers of
And
different
yet
nations
I
look like. And
couldn't
yet
recognize
couldn't recognize the queen of the most powerful fucking country in the continent. I'm never going to get over this. This is my Roman Empire. You know the thing
about
about
this every
like
day.
men think about the Roman Empire every day or whatever, which, okay, cool. This is my Roman Empire. How does fucking nobody recognize the queen of the biggest nation in...
Here's the thing. You can't tell me that they haven't studied what they look like.
Again,
And here's the thing. Even if they haven't, she recognized Berylane.
yeah, the Andorran succession was also a big goddamn deal when this happened, when Tigraine went missing. That was a big fucking
I'm
thing.
sure there were a lot of Ajas involved.
Yeah.
In that.
I
The
bet there was
Grey
a lot
Aja
of
was trying
jockeying.
to, put who they want on. I'm sure there was a lot of jockeying. Yeah. You're telling me the
Not to
magic
mention-
police people?
My girl studied at the tower.
That is also
She
true.
was there. And I know we've talked about this before, but every time we get more contrary evidence to this, I go, what is happening? All right. So this is funny. What name does Galina take for herself in this conversation?
Oh, I forgot she does a fake name.
Yes.
Which is also dumb. Because why?
Well, they always do this, right?
And I am always like, why? What is the point?
They don't want it to be traced back to them. They don't want to, they want to be able to go incognito.
But Fail knows her name.
Okay, that's a good point. But the name she takes is Alice.
So she's just lying for no reason.
But what other Aes Sedai has taken the name Alice?
Oh, Moraine.
Moiraine. And I love this because she goes, Berylane introduces herself and she goes, I know.
She's fucking Alice in Blunderland over here.
You may call me Alice. The other woman smiled as though she knew that was a false name, yet accepting it.
Well, yeah, because you're the head of the Red Aja. You think people don't know who you fucking are?
Well, the Aja heads are kept secret.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The first of Mayenne was far from unsophisticated. A pity she had to deal with the boy instead. And they drink some wine, and Berylane says, there are other sisters in the camp, Alice Sedai, Masuri Sakawa and Seonid Trigon, and my own advisor, Anura Larison. Would you like to speak to them after you finish with Perrin?
And she goes, no.
She's like, what the fuck? Why are they here? What the fuck?
Because some of them are tower rebels, right?
Yeah, they're both tower rebels.
Yeah. So she's like, I would
And then
not
there's
like to
Anora.
speak to them because that would be awkward for me.
Yeah.
Because we're not on the same team. So no, I would not. But that just makes her more suspicious and weird.
So Perrin's standing there pointing at a map while they have this conversation. And she's like, hey, look, Berylane, you clearly have a level head on your shoulders and are not prone to bullshit flights of out-of-character fancy. Can you help me talk this wool-brained dumbass child over here into leaving? Because we're like 8 steps outside of the Shido camp.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
And Berylane is like, we're like several hundred miles from the town. And she's like, ew, oh my God, men who can channel. I'm a red.
I'm going to need you to get used to that idea as a concept.
Perrin goes, Berylane, could you have your talk later? And they talk about the map, and we talk.
This is the energy he should have. I'm not for men speaking to women this way unless the woman is being a fucking creep for no reason. Like, honestly, the character assassination of Berylane
breaks my heart.
Because I go, look at how well she handled herself in this situation, right? Look at how diplomatic and like forward thinking. And I go, are there no other handsome people around? I believe that, again, my theory is that Berylane has had sex twice, did not enjoy it.
That's not a theory.
No, I know, but this is my theory. Berlane's had sex twice with people who didn't know what the fuck they were doing, right?
Yeah, she had political sex.
They couldn't find the clit to save their life.
No.
Okay? And all of a sudden, she overhears Fael having the time of her fucking life. Because I assume those two are like grunting like fucking warthogs. Like, I bet it is loud and raucous because to me, neither of them seems to be particularly sensitive about other people's feelings in that regard.
No.
You know, Fael, I feel like, would be like, this is me marking my territory kind of deal.
Yes.
And Perrin, I think we've seen before, does not really think about other people's feelings. So I feel like, and kind of goes along with what Fael wants to do. So I feel like the two of them, and I also feel like the sex between them, probably great, because Fael is just the right amount of like wild.
Yeah.
And Perrin is a people pleaser.
Yeah.
So I feel like the two of them will have an amazing time. So Berylane overhears this passing by one day and is like, Perrin is the only man that knows what he's doing.
Oh, that's actually really funny.
I've thought about this a lot because I'm like, why is she so obsessed with him? And the only headcanon that I can accept is that she thinks every man is bad at sex but Perrin.
That's really
And she's like,
funny.
I need to know what made Fael make sounds like that.
Oh, that's really funny, actually.
That's my theory.
I kind of love that. Still creepy of Berylane.
Oh, it's not acceptable
it's
at all.
Certainly not in any way an excuse, but no.
But if in order for me to justify the level at which she is obsessed with Perrin specifically when she's already in good with Rand, because everyone's like, oh, because she wants to get in good with Rand. And I'm like, she already is in good with Rand. Everything's fine there. They have a decent friendship. She's like all up in the Aiel. They love her. And she's like ruling. She's doing great. Rand's not going to touch my end. He's not going to let anyone touch my end. Everything is great. She's been raised to be a diplomat from birth. And she is acting like a fucking asshole. And the only thing I can think of that can justify the character assassination of Berylane is that one day she just walked by while Fael was getting dicked down real good. And was like imprinted on the idea that, you know what, the only dick worth having is apparently Perrin's.
Oh my God. Okay, that's pretty funny. I've
thought about this a lot.
Well, that makes more sense than anything else.
Nothing else makes sense to me. Nothing else makes sense to me. I'm like, Perrin and Berylane are like the worst match possible because you know what? He's lovable, and he's a great guy. He is a great guy underneath it all, right? He's got some edges to iron out when it comes to his ideas about women.
Perrin I think he's my dad's favorite character.
I like Perrin.
Yeah, I love Perrin.
Perrin reminds me of you in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Right? Like a gentle giant who's just like a sweetheart who gets thrust into these like big things, and is like nervous about what that means for himself, right? Because he's not like necessarily somebody who craves power. You know, he's a good-hearted human being who's got a wife who can help him reach his potential because she is a lot more savvy. And yeah, Berylane is also a lot more savvy, but she's also the hottest woman ever and is incredibly intelligent, has like some good power. right?
Yeah.
And I go, so then why the fuck is she so fixated on him?
Well, what was
Can she not find another docile, like, big guy?
Who did you want her to end up with? You came up with this whole Gallad. You wanted her to end up with Gallad.
I think they'd be a really good match because she could get the stick out of his ass.
Yeah.
And I think he is also kind of a people pleaser. So I feel like he'd be like, the right thing to do is make her come every time. The morally correct thing to do is make sure that happens.
He probably would.
And not only that, but like she has been so concerned about getting assassinated, and she aligns herself in marriage to one of the most powerful thrones. So that's going to solve the whole Ilion and Tyr problem. Right? Them bullying her.
Oh, yeah, because he's got ties to Andor.
Yeah, so they're not going to fuck around with Andor relations, right? One, that's the first thing. And he's got, like, the White Cloak Army. So that's one. He's now Lord Captain fucking Commander of the White Cloak Army.
He's a Blade Master.
So she's not, and he's a Blade Master. So, and she's been learning to defend herself from the time she was really young, obviously. But, like, now she's with somebody who maybe makes her feel safe. Oh, don't we love a man that makes a woman feel safe, but not in a way where we take away her agency?
Right.
Is a very fine line. It's the finest line in the world. It's hair thin.
Yeah.
We love, and safe can mean a lot of things. Safe can mean emotionally.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that, but she could get the stick out of his ass. So they could help each other, and he could like kind of go to her and be like, hey, sexual harassment's not cool. Can we have like a little bit of a discussion
Get some
about
help.
some of your, negative
Cut it out.
I feel like they could fix each other. And don't we love that?
That would be good.
Because I feel like their bad parts balance each other out. Whereas I don't think Berelain and Perrin's bad parts balance each other out.
No, I don't think so either.
Why I root for Perrin and Fael, because I do think their bad parts balance each other out. I just think they need marital counseling.
If we just ignore because again, we've talked about this before, pretty much every character in these books has at least one thing that we have to just pretend didn't happen. If we just pretend that whole thing in the ways didn't happen, and we remove the punching each other part of their relationship.
I like their relationship.
I like it.
Well, I think that they need marital counseling.
Yeah, they do.
I think Fael needs a little bit of anger management.
Yeah, Fael needs to
a lot bit actually, because you shouldn't punch your spouse.
Oh yeah, Fael needs to reflect on the thing her parents taught her that she misinterpreted.
Yeah, because her parents have a fucking rad relationship.
By and large.
Yeah. I wish that Dira fought.
Yeah.
My thing is, I'm like, no, you know what? The women in this situation would fight.
Well,
in
Rand,
the warrior group,
they kind of do. Rand doesn't let them go. Remember,
and
that's a Rand problem.
Fills me with endless rage.
Yeah.
I have to pretend that's not true.
Yeah, many
about Rand.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Yeah. So that's my opinion about Berelain and why she sucks.
So,
have I said this before on the podcast, or have I? This
you
just been
may
a
have, but it's been a while since we brought it up. So. Mm-hmm. She lies about where the guy, Galina lies about where the guy shines sleep. She asks them to hold off the attack. They look at the map. There's the city with the aqueduct going into it because Robert Jordan read a book about aqueducts. And Perrin is like, I would like to attack in 8 seconds, but I can't.
My theory.
Oh, go ahead.
Because he asks her, do the wise ones drink alcohol?
In a real, yeah. Hold on, can I read this part?
Yeah.
Because this is really like she comments on how awkward this is, because they're talking about. He's like, I'd like to attack as soon as possible. By the way, it seems like y'all get drunk as shit. Are the wise ones getting drunk as fuck? And she goes, that was a weird thing to ask.
Well, and my initial assumption was he was like, well, if they're having like a revelry party the night before, it'll be really easy to attack them the night after, so we'll just wait until they're like all getting drunk off their ass, because it's easy to attack hungover people or still drunk from the night before people, right?
And she goes, the wise ones drink only water, so you needn't think you can find them all in a stupor.
So here's my theory.
Yes.
And they're all using the aqueduct. Is this true? For water?
Well, that's where the water comes in from a freshwater lake.
Exactly. So here's the plan. I have it.
What is the plan?
Okay. Go to the aqueduct.
Okay.
Right? Gateway in to the aqueduct. Dump a bunch of fucking fork root in there.
Oh, yeah, that would work, because it wouldn't affect anybody but the wise ones.
Exactly.
That could work.
Dump a bunch of fucking fork root in there. Because here's the problem. No drunk wise ones makes it a little difficult to do the whole plan, because if they're sober as a nun,
there's like 500 of them. Yeah,
there's like 500 of them. and they're going to blast you to shit. But without their magic, they're pretty defenseless, yes?
They're certainly more defenseless.
So, if we blast them with fucking forkroot in the water, which is what they drink, Galina has confirmed, we can attack while the soldiers are all drunk and the wise ones don't have their magic.
It's a good plan.
It's a fucking good plan. We are all so lucky that I am a nice person.
So they talk a little more, and he goes, when you see Fail, tell her that on the day she sees fog on the ridges and hears wolves howl by daylight,
Cool.
she and the others must go to Lady Chiron's fortress at the north end of the city and hide there. Tell her I love her. Tell her I'm coming for her.
Oof.
She's like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about with wolves? And then
Okay.
she looks in his eyes and is like, never mind, I don't want to know that.
Hold on. This is the most attractive parent's ever been.
It is. And she goes,
We have to hold space for how hot Perrin was just now.
I will tell her. She lied. Perhaps he only meant to use the men in black coats to grab his wife? But why wait at all in that case? To your point, Allie, why not just gateway in and grab him?
I mean, that is the simplest plan, but I do understand that plan has a lot of variables that might not be any good. But the forkroot idea is not bad.
No, it's not.
It's a good second plan. Now, here's the problem. How do we guarantee that all the wise ones drink that water, though?
It's the only source of water in the town.
I think this is the plan. Do they know about forkroot, though? Does Perrin know? Oh, but the Aes Sedai maybe know.
Yeah, Perrin knows about forkroot.
How does he know about forkroot?
It's kind of disseminated out from...
Okay.
Yeah.
That information has reached the people.
Yeah.
Here's the bad thing. Galina now knows about gateways, and she's like Black Aja lady.
But the only people who have been making gateways are men.
Ah.
The gateway she went through, Nield made.
Well, that she is seen.
Yes.
Okay, this is good.
She doesn't know how to.
This is good. Okay. As your aunt would say, this is good.
So Verlaine is like, hey, good talk. You want to stay and have dinner before we send you back? Because otherwise they'll come looking for you. And she's like, no, but I do need you to punch me really hard in the fucking face.
Okay. And then Perrin goes, I can't punch a woman.
Well, why might Perrin be having a particularly visceral response to doing violence right now?
Oh, I was on Perrin's side here.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. But like, why is this a particularly bad time to make this
Because he
request?
just cut off a guy's hand and put his axe in a tree and was like, I'm never coming back here for this.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true.
We'll see.
Either that or, I mean, his hammer's a fine weapon as well.
It is.
Hammers can still kill.
It is. There are such things as warhammers.
Right. Ugh. But frankly, I think I'd rather get the axe than the warhammer.
Probably, yeah.
If I were on the other side. Like, you know, I know it's like the more peaceful, quote unquote, option, but like, ooh, gruesome. Okay, so here's the thing. She says, I need someone to punch me in the face so it looks realistic, like something happened to me. I got roughed up a bit so that the Rava doesn't beat the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler, she does anyway, so it doesn't matter. Perrin's like, I can't punch a woman in the face. And I'm like, that's correct.
Yeah, good move, bud.
Yeah, that's correct. Here's the thing. I do think that like soldiers and la da 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 da, like all that stuff. Yeah, absolutely. We got to do what we got to do. But I'm with Perrin where he's like, I won't, without understanding this situation more, punch a woman in the face just cause.
Apropos of nothing.
Yeah, that's correct. Like, but if she's attacking you, do what you got to do. But here's so I agree with him. And then she goes to the most annoying man on earth. Ituralda. What's his name? No, it's not Ituralda.
Arganda.
Whatever.
Gerard Arganda.
I don't care for this. Gerard?
Gerard, yes.
Okay. So Gerard makes me think that he's like, you know how like in Gilmore Girls or...
In what?
What? Oh. You know how occasionally in some
media
things that will be on things, there will be like a French guy who's like quippy and funny. There's like a lot of things that have like a quippy French guy.
There is a trope, which is a quippy Frenchman. Yes. I'm familiar.
The trope of the quippy
Frenchman.
Jesus Christ, the trope of the quippy Frenchman. So
that sounds like the title to something.
The trope of the quippy Frenchman.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. I feel like they're always named Gerard.
You're thinking of Gerard Depardieu because of the actor.
Yeah, but I also feel like the stereotype is that they're named like Gerard.
Sure, fair.
Okay. But anyway, so that's what that makes me think
So
of.
yeah, Gerard also doesn't want to punch her? Is that where you're...
So now I'm picturing that one actor from that TV show that doesn't exist about a mother and daughter who are close in age.
Sure.
And have no boundaries.
Sure.
So, yeah. So now I'm picturing that that's him. Which now makes me like him more.
Don't
Okay.
do it. Don't do it. No, you've committed.
So annoying
You've committed
Gerard.
hard to hating Arganda.
Annoying Gerard says that he also can't punch a woman.
He just stares slack-jawed.
Yeah, he's like, doesn't compute.
Yeah.
I'm too busy thinking about McQueen. So, then Barrelane, and this is making me like Barrelane again. Just goes, I'll fucking do it, and decks her right in the face.
Fucking clocks her.
And I cheered.
It's really funny.
I was like, yes!
Barrelane goes, I don't believe he will, Barrelane said, gliding forward with her skirts gathered. He has very country ways. If you will permit me? Galina nodded impatiently. There was nothing for it, though the woman likely would not leave a very convincing... Her vision went dark, and when she could see again, she was swaying slightly.
Rafe, I'm begging you to include that.
She could taste blood. Her hand went to her
In
cheek,
something.
and she winced. Too hard? Barrelane inquired anxiously. No, Galina mumbled, fighting to keep her face smooth. Had she been able to channel, she would have torn the woman's head off. Now the other cheek, and have someone fetch my horse. And she tries to ride back.
Wait, that's weird. Why would you do both cheeks?
Get punched twice. So it's not like, I got hit once.
But that would imply someone would deck you with the left arm.
No.
Why would they punch you in the exact same place?
I think she's just saying, punch me on both sides of my head, so it looks like I was fighting to
Brutalized,
get away from And she needs to get back before sunset, or else Thurava will beat the shit out of her, and she does not, and Thurava beats the shit out of her.
Too bad. Couldn't have happened to a worse person.
Yeah. And she wants to obtain the rod, kill Fail and her friends, and then she would be free.
Too much.
And
well, I mean, there was an easier way to do this.
There was a much easier way to do this, but that's the end of the Thurava
That
section.
doesn't out you as an obvious Black Aja. Because, okay, here's the thing. Even if she does just like kill Fail and get the oath rod and bop away, Perrin's going to know that his wife didn't show up to the right spot.
Yes. Listen.
He's going to know she lied.
It's Perrin's Taviran effect. But Allie...
Perrin is stupid pills.
Allie, we're here with Egwene. Do you have notes for the Egwene section?
I do. Actually, a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I was upset. I was concerned. Egwene, no! I'm just so concerned for her. Like, every time she's on screen, I was really tense this whole time. And then they also, somehow, Perrin's influence wafted to the White Tower. Because Elida, I think, fucked up in her decision-making.
Oh.
So badly.
What does Elida... I dropped my phone. What does Elida... What is her punishment?
So I said in all caps, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Oh, you did not just slap my baby. I'll slap you into the middle of next fucking century, you dry-kneed old fuck. So that happened.
Okay.
So then I got very concerned that Egwene was going to get her head cut off because they told her Egwene was going to get her head cut off. And I said, Egwene is giving Anne Boleyn right now. She's giving Margaret Poole right now. She's giving Catherine Howard right now. She's giving Jane Seymour right now. She's giving George Boleyn right now. She's giving Thomas Cromwell right now. She's giving Marie Antoinette right now. She's giving Jane Boleyn right now. She's giving Louis the whatever right now. I can't keep track. There's so many Louis. There's so many Georges. Jesus, pick one. Like we need to just decide in the UK and in France that our rulers are going to have varied names. Like, I can't with this. I also just think I side-eye a little bit parents who name their children after themselves.
Well, these guys are not necessarily named. That is their coronation name, right? Like
It's still dumb.
like King George.
How are we supposed to keep track?
King George, before Queen Elizabeth II, was actually named Albert.
I know this.
Yeah.
I know this. I just think it's so confusing. One, for you as a person to have your name changed. That's weird. Did they still call him Bertie after he was a king?
In the king's speech, they do. In the family.
Confusing.
Yeah.
One.
And what? Sorry, what? I don't know what that is.
I've never seen
This is hard.
screen before. So there's that. That's confusing. It's confusing. I can't imagine being like a student in the UK having to learn your history, because at least our presidents all had different names.
John Adams. John Quincy Adams.
John F. Kennedy. Oh, that's 3 though. That's not 8.
I'm talking specifically about the 2 who were both named John Adams within like 50 years of each other.
Again, I side-eye people that name their children after themselves. I side-eye.
They
Like,
were
are you
not
that
related.
great? Yes, they were.
No.
They were father and son. I'll bet you
What?
$100. That's
No.
father and son. Yes, they were. I read a whole biography on Jane Addams at one point.
John Adams?
Jane Addams was John Adams'
Oh,
wife.
I'm sorry. I thought you were just mispronouncing.
Maybe, if I'm remembering correctly, related.
Oh, no, you were right. I was wrong. You were right.
Am I right?
You're right, yeah. I never knew that.
Eldest son of John Adams. I read a whole I was obsessed with Jane Addams in middle school for some reason, because I thought she was super cool. Because she wrote to her husband when they were trying to decide about like women's rights, and she was like, remember women. Or they were trying to decide about like what rights we have and all this constitutional stuff. And she was like, please remember women. And they definitely did not.
Definitely didn't do that.
I still thought that was like pretty cool of her to be like, hey, remember that women exist.
Yeah.
And she was a pretty cool person. And then her son, the oldest was John Quincy Adams.
Well, fuck, I learned something new today.
Yeah, they were like the Bushes or the
Kennedys.
Or the Kennedys. Did we? Wait. Yeah. Sorry.
What were you going to say?
I was trying to remember if we had multiple Kennedy presidents. And I was like,
no. But
Yeah.
there's Kennedy senators, there's Kennedy.
Yeah, I mean, the Kennedys are like a hugely political
Or the
family.
Roosevelts.
The Roosevelts.
Yeah, that's what I was
But I
thinking
think they
of.
were cousins.
Kind of like distant second, third
You know
cousin
what's
or
weird
something
is
like that.
Eleanor Roosevelt was his cousin too.
But again,
she didn't have to change her last name.
yes, I know. But
Or
again,
she was Roosevelt to
they were
Roosevelt.
not first cousins.
But would you not be at that wedding like a little like
No,
if you were
I
at the
understand.
wedding of someone with the same last names and you knew they were distant cousins but still cousins
Yeah.
because they married to keep the money in the family.
That sounds right.
I was also obsessed with Eleanor Roosevelt. I went through an Eleanor
she's
Roosevelt
cool.
phase, which I stand by. But like they married to keep the money in the family. And I know that was like a thing society people did back then. But if somebody did that now, would you not be and they had the same last
No,
name,
I
would
get
you
it.
not
I
be
get
at their
it.
wedding kind of like fanning yourself going,
I get it.
They're
To
related.
my understanding, they were quite distantly related.
no, listen, I know.
I would still kind of go,
But there is a part of me that I'm not proud of that does love a good little nugget of tea.
oh, sure.
Just a good little like, you want to hear this little like tiny tidbit of information that's really interesting? I just have I'm a nosy person. I am. I love to know things. And I won't use that against people.
Okay, wait a minute.
I won't judge people.
Fifth cousin.
Okay, but this last name thing is weird.
Fifth cousin once removed.
I'm just saying the last name thing is weird. It's just, you're going to go to the Roosevelt and Roosevelt wedding?
How far off do you even know? What the fuck is a fifth cousin? I can't even comprehend that.
I
Fifth
can't
cousin
even
once
believe
removed.
you would keep the money in the family at that point. Like, you're so far removed.
Cousin calculator. My God. Okay, wait. A fifth cousin
You have the
once
same,
removed
because
means
it's
you're
like back to what same relative you had.
fifth or fourth great grand. You're so far away. There's no blood relation.
No, I'm
anymore.
not saying. I'm not saying. Let's separate two things. The one thing being, it's fine for fifth cousins to marry for every reason, right? At that point, you share like maybe a drop of blood.
Not even.
Yeah. Right? You're so distantly related, it doesn't matter. But at the same time, there is a part of me that would be sitting at a wedding of two people with the same last name who couldn't help but just kind of like make a small, silly comment about it.
Sure.
Because it's a small, silly thing.
Yeah.
It's like a small, silly, funny, like thing to comment on.
Now, I don't know how we got on this.
I don't either. Oh, presidents. And then we went back to relations. How did we get here?
I have no idea. Kings. We were talking about kings.
We were talking about kings.
And the names.
Confusing. The names are all confusing.
And
What What was before that?
I don't know.
That's so funny.
Okay, anyway, Egwene.
We'll find out in the future. Someone will tell us what we were talking about.
Well, I'll find out when I edit this.
Okay. So yeah. Anyway, but I was side-eyeing. Because I was talking about how I think Egwene's going to lose her head, and I was talking about Louis the whatever.
That's it.
I can't imagine being a student in those countries and having to learn that history and be like, I can't remember what Louis was when.
Mm-hmm.
That's annoying. She's giving one of the English kings right now. What was his name? Charles? There was a Charles that got beheaded.
Probably.
Wasn't there?
I trust you.
I seem to recall. I would like her to be giving a different vibe right now. Oh, so she's not going to be killed? Hot fucking dog. I'm doing a little jig. Tra-la-la fiddle-dee-fucking-dee.
So
Elida made an error, I think.
what is Elida's punishment to Egwene?
It's dumb.
What is it?
She's going to be a novice
Demoted
again.
to novice, get spanked.
For like a while.
Yeah.
I just
I think
that's not smart.
what she's going for here is what happens if she kills Egwene.
They're definitely going to attack then? Or
Think of
someone else
and
will be put in her place?
no spoilers here, but what happens if you kill the Mockingjay?
Chaos. Because
What happens if there is a figurehead?
oh, she's a martyr.
She becomes a martyr.
Mm-hmm.
If
This
you
is
kill
a
Egwene,
humiliation.
this is debasement.
Public humiliation.
Right? Yeah.
Making her look stupid.
Yeah.
Making, by extension, the rebels look stupid.
Yeah, she's saying this is a
Okay.
child. This is a child. Your leader was a child, and you are all childish.
And we will treat her
And
like a child.
we're not even going to, because we could decapitate her. She was impersonating the Amerlin, but you
that
know
would
what?
be us taking her seriously.
Yeah, I don't think that's fair. This is basically a kid who got jumped up ideas, and I don't really think it's worth it.
Yeah. Okay. I see that. Plus, if she kills her, then that's not going to make the rebels want to come back.
No.
Okay. Here's my thing, though. I think Egwene is a way bigger threat than she's believing.
Do you think Egwene is going to break under some spanking?
No.
Egwene, paddle my ass, Aiel mommy, I'll veer?
Yeah, there's no way. She's been
I really
for
regret
this.
how I worded that.
I don't. I think that was exactly correct. Yeah, I feel like this is, if anything, this is going to fuel her further.
Probably. So she wakes up. Egwene regained conscious awareness slowly, and muzzy as she was, never heard that word before, barely had the presence of mind to keep her eyes closed.
That's what the videos we would watch to learn Spanish in elementary school.
Muzzy?
Yeah, they were called Muzzy. It was like a monster who liked to eat clocks.
All right.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Shout out to those who remember Muzzy.
So she wakes up. She's in this coach. She's not shielded. She can't really... She's kind of wiped out. Why is she so wiped out?
The fork root.
I think fork root, yeah. And she kind of like... She tries to wiggle her toes, and Katarina slaps the shit out of her.
And I want Katarina dead.
Katarina's
For that reason alone. There's a lot of Red Aja women threatening my girls right now. Faio, Egwene, that's it, but that's two, and that is a lot. It's weird that it happened twice.
So she gets up and she goes, "Who betrayed me? It can't hurt to tell me, since I'm your prisoner."
It was definitely what's-her-face.
And Katarina tries to slap the shit out of her again, but Philana stops her.
That was a reasonable question. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of discord on this trip back because Katarina wants to just beat the shit out of her all the time for like having the audacity to talk.
Yeah.
And the couple of the others are like, don't do that. It's not a good look to beat a prisoner. And she's like, I'm going to beat her harder. And they just have this weird kind of high noon standoff right in front of Egwene, and Egwene's like, what the fuck is happening? My prisoners can't even decide to beat me or not. Like, this is not a unified front at the moment.
Philana goes, "She will no doubt be executed, but she is an initiate of the tower, and none of us has the right to beat her." And Katarina goes, "Take your hand off me, Brown."
Okay, that felt loaded.
Yeah, man. Aja strife. All of Yaren takes a shot. So
it's almost as if having a bunch of stratified groups within the larger group
Doesn't always work out.
doesn't always work out. I feel like there needs to be more cross-Aja unity.
They're like, well, they're probably going to chop her fucking head off because she was impersonating the Amerlin, you know? So, it's a shame, but there you go. And Barisha, I believe it is, goes, what I want to hear is, what did you do to the harbor chain? How can it be undone?
It can't. It's Quendiar.
Yeah, you're fucked. It can't be undone, Egwene replied. You must know that it's Quendiar now. Even the power won't break it, only strengthen it.
Pottery at Rebel Summer Camp.
I suppose you could sell it if you tear down enough of the harbor wall to remove it. If anyone can afford a piece of Quendiar that big, or would want such a thing. And then Katarina slaps the shit out of her again.
I was answering the question. Jesus.
They get her to the tower. She goes in the back door, and there's a novice there.
I'm too sassy for this world. I would sass immediately. I'd be like, I was answering your question.
Who is
Stop hitting me for answering your question.
Who is the novice who meets her there? Because she was expecting it to be Elida.
What's her face that betrayed her?
Fucking Nicola.
Again with the lesbians.
Because the Nicola and Irina. Yeah.
Again with the lesbians acting up.
Listen, we still have Sayanid.
That's true. We still have Sayanid. But, this is not good. This is not good. This is not a good look for the lesbians.
And Katarina's like, all right, we're going to spank the shit out of her. And Falana's like, man, we just got to execute her and get it over with. This feels like really fucking weird. How drawn out this is. This is fucking weird, man. I don't like this. This is fucking weird.
What are they supposed to do? Cut her head off right then and there?
And then Nicola curtsies to Egwene and goes, I'm sorry I ran away, Mother. I thought they'd let me go faster. I thought they'd let me go faster here.
So, okay, Nicola, you're a fucking idiot. Okay, here's why. You think...
Maybe she didn't betray her, but yeah.
You're all pissed off. First of all, Egwene only went as fast as she did because she was fucking enslaved, which doesn't sound like a fun option. Okay? They didn't care about her safety and well-being. They care about yours, so they weren't going to let you go faster than they thought was probably appropriate. I understand that you had higher ambitions, but then you thought, okay, I'll betray fundamentally the group that has been really great to me so far, right? Because the blackmailing them into letting me do bigger stuff didn't work out. So now I'm going to go to this other side where the rules of what the pace they set was set.
And are stricter.
And are stricter about it because they want to deny that the apocalypse is happening. So then you're going to, just so you can go faster in your training, you're going to get someone fucking killed? You're an idiot. An idiot. You're too dumb to be at the tower. Go home.
Is she up there with Arganda?
Yes. That's just stupid. Are you stupid? How old are you? 14?
I think she's like 25.
Unacceptable behavior from someone who's 25. Unacceptable stupidity. Like, there is stupid at 25 and there is stupid at 14. And stupid at 14 is a lot different than stupid at 25. Your brain has fully developed at this point. You can rent a car, get your shit together. Good fucking God.
So there's this lengthy sequence where they bring her into the tower, and most of the front half of this chapter is ominous.
She's at horse renting age and acting this way.
Most of the front half of this chapter is ominous concern that she's going to be
beheaded.
And beheaded, yeah.
And she's like, oh my God, will you forgive me? I did a whoopsie. Fuck you.
And, Katarina slaps the shit out of Nicola for calling her with magic.
That I'll allow.
And Barisha is like, will you stop? Can you not?
She just really wants to slap someone in the face. That's all Katarina wants to do. Slap Arena over here.
Slap Arena.
She would really, in another life, do very well at roller derby.
Probably. Why?
Roller derby's violent.
Oh, I don't know anything about roller derby.
Oh, it's like women, like, derbying with rolly things. It's violent. That's what I hear. It's violent. It's dangerous. People are, like, punching each other. It's a whole thing. She would have done well.
How did they also captured Liana, apparently?
Okay, and this is what's pissing me off also.
Yeah.
Because Liana's like, it's me, Liana. And they go, you're a liar. And then they keep beating the shit out of her, asking her who she is. And she's like, I'm Liana. And they're like, nonsense. And I just go, here's the thing. Liana was stilled while she was at the tower. They know this. They know that women who get stilled look different.
Yeah.
Why would they not put two and two together and go, that actually probably could be true?
She didn't
ask her questions only Liana could know.
Yes, look, you're right. I don't think she age inverted like immediately. I think it took a couple of weeks.
Yeah, but don't they know that about women who get stilled
they don't
or burned
pay
out?
any attention to women who get stilled.
You're telling me that no Brown has gone, maybe I should study them a little bit?
Apparently not, because when Swan, came out of the tower...
They have time to talk about the weevils.
They don't talk about getting stilled because it's the worst thing that can happen to them. And they're terrified of it. And apparently nobody has ever actually paid enough attention because when Swan looks in the mirror...
That's the thing I would want to poke the most.
When Swan looks in the mirror, she's like, oh, what the fuck? So clearly this was not a known thing.
This
because
is the thing I would want to poke the most.
I know. You'd think that, like, doing research on the thing that is your worst nightmare to see if you might be able to fix it would be a good idea.
Why would you not poke it? They just decided it was like there's nothing they can do and just threw their hands up in the air and went, oh, well, we'll stop poking at this then.
How did the...
That's not human. That is not human beings at all. We are always like, ooh, the ocean crushes things. Let's go in there.
How did Liana do, by the way, at converting her chain? Because she went to South Harbor.
She did really well. She practically finished it.
She got half of it.
Yeah, she did really great.
Yeah, she half blocked the harbor.
Yeah, so Liana has been super effective. Now that they have Egwene, will they please attack the tower?
Well, you're going to have to read and find out.
Oh my god.
They take her to the Mistress of Novices' rooms, Sylviana.
Mm-hmm.
And Sylviana goes, leave her with me and wait outside. And Katarina's like, did you mean I don't get to slap the shit out of her anymore? I like slapping the shit out of her.
Actually.
Which words did you not understand, Katarina? Need I repeat myself? And she shields Egwene. They take all her shit. And she goes, you aren't hysterical, at least. That makes matters easier, but why aren't you hysterical? And Egwene goes, would it do any good?
High yield training.
I can't see how. It seems the Amerlin has been mulling over what to do about you for some time. She has a very complete plan already. She doesn't want the tower to lose you, nor do I.
Elida has a plan.
Elida has decided that you have been used as a dupe by others and should not be held accountable. So you will not be charged with claiming to be the Amerlin.
That's great news.
She has stricken your name from the roll of accepted and entered it in the novice book again.
Yeah, that sucks.
I agree with that decision, frankly, though it's never been done before. Whatever your ability with the power, you missed almost everything else you should have learned as a novice. You needn't fear that you'll have to take the test again, though. I wouldn't force anyone to go through that twice. And Egwene is like, actually, I'm the Aes Sedai. I'm an Aes Sedai because I was made Amerlin, therefore I am Aes Sedai. Because the Amerlin is Aes Sedai, but you don't have to be Aes Sedai to become Amerlin. So I'm actually an Aes Sedai. So, you're wrong. You're an idiot. And Sylviana's like, all right, that's a paddling. And Egwene goes, do you think you can make me deny who I am with a spanking? There are spankings and spankings. That is an actual line in the book.
There are spankings and spankers.
You're accustomed to Sheriam Bayanar as Mistress of Novices. I've browsed her punishments book. She let the girls get away with too much and was far too lenient with her favorites. As a result, she was forced to deal out correction much more often than she should have had to. I record 1/3 of the punishments in a month that Sheriam did because I make sure that everyone I punish leaves here wishing, above all things, never to be sent to me again.
Abuse.
And Egwene is like, this is stupid and it won't work. This is really dumb.
This is really dumb.
This punitive justice shit this is stupid. This is not going to work.
Because here's the thing, it doesn't. It just makes you madder. This is the thing about violence. It just makes the person that experiences it matter.
So what is the long and the short of Egwene's new state of being?
She's like, well, the Aiel have taught me how to endure punishment. So it's not really going to work.
Let me clarify. What is her sentence?
She just has to be a novice again.
She's
getting like small doses of fork root at night, so that she can't channel at night.
Every hour.
She'll have a guard.
No, every hour she gets fork root.
But not enough that she can't channel because she has to do her novice training.
Right. Just enough that she's kind of out of it and a little weak.
Mm-hmm. And then at night, she is guarded the whole time.
I cannot like this stuff. It seems aimed directly at Aes Sedai. Someone who cannot channel can drink 5 times the amount that makes a sister pass out and barely grow dizzy from it. A disgusting brew, yet useful, it seems. Perhaps it can be used on those Ashaman. The tincture won't make you dizzy, but you won't be able to channel enough to cause any problems, only trickles. Refuse to drink, and it'll be poured down your throat anyway.
Okay.
At night, you'll be shielded, since giving you enough fork root to make you sleep through the night would leave you doubled up with stomach cramps the next day.
I am going to be so annoyed by this.
And she's like, anyway, you're a novice now. Straighten up and fly right, or you're going to have to get spanked 7 times a day.
We're going to bring another woman low.
And Egwene laughs because she's like, oh, I'm not getting decapitated. That's great. But yeah.
Well, we've had that experience of like realizing that we didn't die. Remember?
Yes.
Yeah, we had that
when
car
the deer
accident.
jumped into our windshield,
Yeah.
yes.
And the giddiness that I felt was wild.
It's quite something.
We were like jumping on the bed, cackling. It was awesome. We're like, we're alive. Yeah, so I get that. I get the laugh.
So they come to take her away, and Egwene goes, hang on, before you take me away, listen, fuck you guys. I hate you guys. But
Preach.
There's something you should know. What is that something?
There's something you should know.
Very important piece of information for you fuckers.
Oh, shit. Something you should know. The Black Aja are real?
I have the talent of dreaming.
Oh, yeah.
I've learned to tell the true dreams and to interpret some of them. I dreamt of a glass lamp that burned with a white flame. 2 ravens flew out of the mist, struck the lamp, and flew on. The lamp wobbled, flinging off droplets of flaming oil. Some of those burned up in midair, others landed scattered about, and the lamp still wobbled on the edge of falling. It means the Shanchan will attack the White Tower and do great harm. And they're like,
now that chain is down.
Oh, you're so stupid.
Well, now that the chain is down, too, they can come in.
The chain is up.
Oh, the chain
is locked up.
Why? Why would they lock it up? They wanted to lock it down.
Which one are you talking about?
The chain of their harbor.
No, they wanted to block the harbor.
Oh, to keep...
They didn't want to...
right, to starve them out.
Yeah,
okay.
they didn't want to open the harbor so they could get in. They blocked the harbor.
I was thinking about a different book. Okay.
Gotcha.
Yep. Okay. So...
And what is their response? Oh my God, we got to do something about this?
No.
They go, oh, bullshit.
They go, you're fucking full of shit. This is the thing that bothers me. I think because I am very truthful, probably too honest, to be honest, about myself, what my capabilities are, who I am. And when someone accuses me of lying when I'm telling the truth, it is so upsetting. Has that ever happened to you?
It's the worst, man.
So
it's so fucking annoying.
Because there's nothing you can really do
Nope.
to prove them wrong. They just decide that you're lying or that you're wrong. And it's like, you know this to be true from the bottom of your heart. And the more hysterical you get about it, the more they don't believe you. It's so upsetting. It's honestly like, it fills me with rage. So the idea that they're like, she's like, this is this thing that I do. And Aes Sedai, named Anaya, who would know, told me that I'm a dreamer. It's been confirmed several times by several people that I'm a dreamer. I'm a dreamer. And they're like, bullshit. And they've also done it to Lyanna when she was like, my name is Lyanna Sharif.
No, it's not. Whack.
This fills me with more rage. Almost as much rage as the Arganda. I care about my queen as much as you care about your wife shit.
A dreamer, Sylviana said flatly. Is there anyone who can back up your claim?
Anaya.
And if there is, well, she's dead. And if
They don't know
there
that.
is, how can you be sure your dream means the Shanchan? Ravens would indicate the shadow to me. I'm a dreamer, and when a dreamer knows, she knows, not the shadow, the Shanchan. As for who knows what I can do, the only one you can reach is Lyanna Sharif, who's being held in the cells below. Katarina's like, that isn't fucking... God damn it, not fucking Lyanna's a fucking fake-ass wilder piece of shit. It's not fucking Lyanna.
I would, if I were Egwene in this situation, which I do feel like I'm part Egwene. You know, I think, what I said, like a Matt Sun, Egwene Moon.
Yeah, I think you said that.
Nynaeve Rising or Avienda Rising. Or no, Brigitte Rising.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my 3. So I literally, this is how petty I am. If this were me, I would be like, then fine. Don't believe me. And then sit there and be like smirking when the Shanchan attack. I'd be like, I might be going down, but I'm so fucking pleased that you're going down with me now.
Well, Sylviana goes, you truly believe what you are what you say. I do hope your dreaming won't cause as many problems as young Nicola's foretelling. If you truly can dream, well, I will pass along your warning, but I can't see how the Shanchan could strike at us here in Tarvalin, but watchfulness never hurts.
Oh, okay. They've attacked a lot of places, my friend.
And I'll question this woman being held below carefully, and if she fails to back up your tale, then your visit to me in the morning will be even more memorable for you.
In another life, she would have made a great dominatrix.
I know, man. That is true of most of Robert Jordan's female villains.
Truly, they just need an outlet.
Mm-hmm.
That is positive for them.
So they take her to the novice quarters, and they're like, it's settling in now that she sucks and is the worst. And Berestine and Katerina are basically holding vigil over her all the fucking time.
Right.
All the goddamn time. Shielding her while she sleeps.
Annoying.
Mm-hmm. And so she goes to sleep, pops in between dreamland, and is like, I gotta talk to Swan. All right, we gotta figure this shit out. Because, like, I'm not about to get killed. So, hey. This is actually
relieved.
awesome.
I'm so relieved. I was really concerned. But I am concerned that Gawain's gonna fuck this up somehow.
Elida thought her safely imprisoned. No matter this talk of making her a novice again, even if Elida really believed it, Egwene Alvier did not.
Okay, but I'm a little worried about Alviarin.
She did not consider herself a prisoner either. She was carrying the battle into the heart of the tower itself.
Now she's feeling like she's a little too confident.
If she had had lips there, she would have smiled.
Okay, now she's feeling a little too confident to me, though. She's a little too... I'm a little too relieved.
That's the end of the prologue.
Because Alviarin's there. And Katerina's there.
Hey, it's almost like we've got exciting setup that now can start paying off.
I'm concerned. I am concerned.
Allie, that was the prologue. Embers falling on dry grass. How's that grass?
It is ready to catch fire.
It sure is. Thank you all very much for listening. Oh, wait a minute. No, I have to do this in the voice, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
All right. Okay, this is the Seeker doing the outro. Thank you all so much for listening. We have social media. If you want to know how to stay in touch with us, that's linked down below. You can also join our Patreon. It's patreon.com/wheeltakes. And of course, you can also leave us a rating and a review, which helps a lot. Other than that, next week we're going back to the 2 chapters a week thing. Anything else, Allie?
Should I rant some more about who I think is fucking stupid?
Thank you all very much for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you again for listening. This was Wheel Takes with Allie and Gus. Music by Alexander Nakarada.